Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Lovington Lady Cats softball from the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports. With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle, a non-district tune-up between the Lady Cats and the Roswell Lady Coyotes. The Lady Cats come in at 4-1 on the season. A big win on Wednesday and a makeup game in Ruidoso, winning that game 19-0. Of course, that a mercy rule game. For the Roswell High Lady Coyotes, they come in at 0-4 and have yet to really find a whole lot going on as we get this game underway. Leading off will be Talissa Espinosa, followed by Maria Grajeda and Sarai Morales. That is 1, 2, and 3 for the Lady Coyotes of Roswell, Dawn.
And welcome in. Thank you. Let's set your field for Lovington. Pitching is Vega. Catching is DePorto. On first, Olguin. On second, Angelina Corral. On third is Aaliyah Chavarria. Shortstop is Aaliyah Hernandez. In left field, Annalie Chavarria. In center field, Marquez. In right field, Chloe Corral. So we have the Corral sisters, we have the Chavarria sisters, and of course we have a lot of good, salty Lovington players who are itching for a district win as it counts today, starting today.
It's not district yet, but that's next week.
They're tuning up for it.
Tuning up for
district. Yeah, they're
district.
tuning up for it, but it definitely counts, and they're looking for some momentum before they get into that game. Of course, Roswell in Hobbs district, but Lovington getting ready. That's Vega with her first pitch. It's hit out into shallow left. It's going to put Espinosa on. So first pitch, first hit, and a base runner on for Roswell. From the left side, just that little slap, not a bunt, a little slap hit that got her out onto first base. It's going to bring up Mireya Grajeda, the second baseman for Roswell, up at bat. It looks like she's going to bat from the right side of the plate. One runner on, no outs, and no score yet. First pitch is in. She shows bunt. It's going to be a little pop-up. Coming in to try to catch it was Aaliyah Chavarria from third base, just beyond her glove. So it drops in again for a little infield hit, and that's going to put runners at first and second. And, man, Roswell wasting no time getting runners on the base, TJ.
No, absolutely not, as Vega had a chance at that play, but Olguin had come in to cover the bunt, and Corral had moved over to cover first, so there was nobody to go to second or to first with, as Morales will step in, and Roswell threatening here in the first.
It's Sarai Morales, I believe, Sarai Morales. I think we've seen her in a couple of other sports for Roswell so far this year. Batting from the right side, she is number 11. She plays shortstop for Roswell, and she took a swing at the first pitch and ended up getting just a piece of it, going off foul to the right side. So 0-1, the count on Morales. She shows bunt, pops it up. That's going to be out of play. No time to be able to go back for that, although DePorto chases it, and so does Chavarria from third, but not enough time to be able to get under that. So it just becomes strike two. 0-2 on Morales now.
And it looks like the plan for Coach Marujo and this Roswell High team is play small ball.
Yeah. Just get on base, to start hitting and start getting on base so that they don't get down in the hole like so many teams against Lovington have done. And this pitch comes in. It's going to be high and outside for ball number 1. And we've talked a little bit about this when we were filling out our scorebooks, is that Roswell comes in lean and mean. They have one player on the bench, one. And there's a swing, and it's going to be just a little Texas leaguer. It's going to just drop right behind the first base. It's going to put Morales on first, going to move all the runners around. Espinosa goes to third, Grajeda to second, and Morales on first loads them up. And with just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the six pitches thrown so far in this game. 3 runners on base, and number 10, Clarice Banda, the cleanup hitter for Roswell, stepping up to the plate.
Only thing that's really gotten past the pitching ring has been the original line drive by Espinosa to lead off the game.
And
she now stands at third.
Yeah, and these are not hard hit balls at all. These are little plunks and dinks, but they're on base just the same. First pitch comes in high and inside for ball 1, so 1-0 your count on Banda. Bases loaded, no outs. Lovington already facing a bit of a challenge here. Good news is there's a force on any base. You can expect that if there's an infield hit, they're going to go home to try to cut off the lead runner, and that's going to be, just a little too outside in. I was about to say you don't want throwing errors, and they make one. So throwing down to third, and that ball is missed. and it brings home a runner. So that is not earned, but it puts a run on the board for Roswell all the same.
Well, a bad error right there as DePorto came up just a little bit quick, and Chavarria not in the greatest position for it as she had to go around the batter.
And this comes in a nice smoker right across the plate for strike one. I think Vega a little frustrated at the turn of events so early in this game. This is not what Lovington's accustomed to seeing, and Roswell came in with a game plan, and they're executing. Lovington needs to shut them down. And that's going to be just a little low for ball number 2. 2-1 the count on Bonda. Again, base runners on second and third. One run in already, 1-0 your score. No outs here in this top of the first inning. First game of a doubleheader. And this, a nice heater. It broke inside, and Bonda took a swing at it, but fouled it off to the right, so the count is evened up now at 2-2. It was a good pitch by Vega coming in, because I think Bonda was looking and expecting maybe something, a fastball right over the plate or maybe a breaking ball to the outside. And Vega came inside with her. And there's a nice fastball and striking her out. Again, Vega, I think a little frustrated at Roswell just in getting on base and getting that run in right away. And she's wanted to just seal this off and shut him down and get out and get into the dugout and start putting some runs on the board. So this is going to bring up number 13, Victoria Sandoval, the pitcher for Roswell, with runners on second and third still. One out, 1-0. First pitch is in and beautiful. Yes, a strike right over the inside corner. So another heater from Vega. So Vega picking up some speed. She has a lot of pitches. Part of her strength as a pitcher is how she varies her pitches and her speeds. Beautiful strike.
Took a little bit off of that one, and I mean, it was still, right fastball, across, but it was a little bit, it was her slower fastball, if you will.
Right over the center of the plate. 0-2 to Sandoval. This one she brings the heat, but it gets in the dirt right in front of the plate, so ball number 1. Looks like she pulled up short just a little bit. Sometimes when you mess with your stride just a little bit, kind of affects your release point as well. And that's a beautiful ball, just a little bit low, a hair low. And as she kind of shook her head, I think she thought that might have caught the bottom end of the strike zone, but it becomes ball 2. So 2-2 on Sandoval. Runners on second and third, 1 out, 1-0. Roswell leading here in the top of the first. And a beautiful ball. Oh, that's hit, but it's going to go foul as it sails a bit, but ends up drifting over to the right. So, and that's a good thing, because it was a fairly solid hit ball, but she was a little late swinging on it, which is why it went to the right. So again, Vega varying her pitches, varying her speeds. That's one of her strengths, as I've noticed this season watching her, is that she's a smart pitcher. That's a nice pitch, just a little low. Looked like it crossed the outside corner, but full. It brings the count full. 3-2 now on Sandoval.
Of course, Sandoval, the opposing pitcher, would like nothing more than to give herself another run or 2 of insurance on the board.
And she's going to take her base. So a rare walk issued. It's Vega only walks maybe a couple of batters a game. She got a pretty high strikeout rate and a pretty low walk rate. And she had a walk to give, because that does load up the bases, and now there's a force on any base. So that actually may help Lovington just a bit. But coming up to bat is number 12, Raquel Gonzalez, the third baseman for Roswell. And she has a very open stance. And this a beautiful pitch. Oh yeah, call strike 1, right, just in the top part of the zone, right over the plate. Beautiful fastball. Strike 1, 0-1 on Gonzalez. Bases loaded, just 1 out, and a swing and a crack at it. It's going to go foul over our heads, over the press box and to the right. So strike 2 on Gonzalez. And you got to figure that, of course, the infield for Lovington playing in just a little bit, as you would expect with bases loaded. They're looking to maybe turn a double play for anything that's a ground ball gettable, and that's on the low end of the strike zone, so a little too low. Gonzalez, 1-2 count on her now.
Yeah, and also playing in to cut off a potential run at the plate if
True.
it's not something that's a pretty hot shot. That way they can just come straight home and get the lead runner.
Yep, and less of a throw to be able to do that. Oh, and this one's going to be, thought that was a beautiful pitch. I guess it was just a little too low. Again, it was right on the outside of the plate, though. 2-2 is the count on Gonzalez, who is a pretty picky batter. She's not swinging at a lot. She swings at that one, and it's a line drive shot over to Olguin. And by reflex, she knocks it down, but it doesn't stay in her glove, and it's going to score 2 as off of her glove it kind of rolls out there between second base and right field. So again, those are tough because your glove just goes up in automatically in defense, and she just managed to knock it down. So score 2, and that's going to bring up Maria Aragon, the center fielder for Gonzalez.
And Gonzalez going to get credit for 2 RBIs. It got knocked down by Holguin. No error on the play. So both of those runs come in and will be credited to Gonzalez in the RBI column and into the earned run column.
First pitch comes into Aragon, and it's a call strike for strike 1. So 0-1 on Aragon. And you've got Sandoval sitting out there in scoring position on second base. Gonzalez on first with the 2 RBI hit. And this one catches a piece of it, but it's going to go foul off to the right.
Matter of fact, Coach McCraw had to duck to get out of the way of that one.
So 0-2 your count on Aragon. Still just 1 out, and already Lovington down by 3. Looking to get out of this with as little damage as possible, a little more damage as possible. And that pitch comes in a little low. 1-2 on Aragon. Center fielder for Roswell. Roswell coming into this one, stepping up the plate and hitting those balls right away, even though they were dinkers. And this one's hit right back just out of reach of Vega. Ends up going to center field, and it is going to score 1 from second base. Sandoval crosses the plate. And Lovington, unusual, down 4-0 with just 1 out. And you've got Aragon sitting on first with that RBI single.
And right now, really, I mean, you hear the old saying in baseball and softball, too, hit them where they ain't. And pretty much that's what Roswell has done with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits out of the first 7 batters who have come to the plate, and a walk in there, too. Just the strikeout accounting for the only out. And so things not going quite the way the Lady Cats want them to go. All 3 of the 4 runs have been earned, the other one coming on the error.
And McGraw is out in the circle talking to the girls about it. He's huddling them up, saying, I'm sure you got 1 out. You need to concentrate on each out. Get out of this as soon as you can. Don't worry about the runs. We'll get them back. The game is young. It's early. We hit. We know we're going to score. So just do your job. Each of you do your job. Throw strikes, field the ball, and get the outs and get back into the dugout. So I don't know that that's what he said, but if I were coaching, that's what I would be telling the girls. So let's think that maybe that had a little truth to it.
Well, I would bet you are probably exactly right.
Coming up to bat is number 8, Leah Sanchez. She's the first baseman for Roswell. Bats from the left side of the plate over your open stance as well. She shows bunt, and it is a bunt, but she's going to end up beating it out. That bunt rolled down they got her. Oh, right. Well, I thought he.
Well, he showed. He showed out.
She stood on the base. That's why she came back and stood on the base right away. So they got her with the throw. That was a good throw. Chavarria came in from third base. If she had not grabbed it, it probably would have continued to roll foul. But she got it, made a good throw, and Sanchez is out 5-3. And on the bunt, it is a sac bunt. Move the runners around. Nobody came in on it, but it did move the runners around to second and third. Gonzalez on third, Aragon on second, and the first pitch to your
Lucero.
Yes, Lucero, Jasmine Tucero, your right fielder, was a strike. Swing and a miss. Second one comes in. Oh, she gets a good piece of this, sends it out to center field. It's going to end up falling right near the fence, right between left and center field. A big solid hit, and that's going to be that's going to bring in 2 runs. So a 2 RBI single is going to put Lovington down in the hole 2 more runs. So it is now 6-0, 2 outs with Jasmine Lucero sitting on first.
And they've batted around now,
yes,
too,
they
so
have.
we're back to the top of the lineup.
Top of the order. And that's going to bring up Espinosa high for ball number 1, although a lot of pop to that. I think Vega is extremely unhappy with the way things are going in this inning and a lot of heat. So let's see if she'll bring that down. Oh, nope, another high ball. She's looking to the dugout, too. Between pitches, I think she's just very frustrated. Just 1 more out, though. That's all they need, and they do need to get this one. This one comes in, swing and a miss as a beautiful pitch.
Took a little bit off of
She
that one, a
did.
changeup to get it in there.
And it went right over the outside corner, and really Espinosa's bat was about 6 inches too short to be able to get that, but she chased it, she wanted it, and Vega got her with it. And beautiful pitch right over the outside corner. A little more heat to that. She lowered it just a little bit. Espinosa crouched, looked at it, let it go, and it's strike number 2. So 2-2, the count on Espinosa, the catcher for Roswell. And a swing and a miss, and that's it. So a strikeout number 2. And finally, Roswell is going back to the dugout, and Lovington with a lot of work to do as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Your score is 6-0. Roswell leading. We'll be back with more Lovington softball on the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports.
Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Devon Energy is proud to support the athletic programs of Lovington High School this season. By partnering with local schools in Lovington, Devon is making an investment in the long-term future of the community. Sports teach discipline, teamwork, and leadership. Skills our youth will use to succeed for a lifetime. From the Devon team to yours, Devon Energy wishes you good luck this season, both on the field and in the classroom. Go Wildcats! Back here at Lady Cat Field for Roswell in the top of the first, 6 runs on 6 hits, 1 error committed by the Lady Cats, 1 left on base. 5 of those 6 runs will be earned by starting pitcher Kaylee Vega. So 6-0 the score. Lovington getting their first shot on the offensive end of things, and with the call, here's Dawn Morgan.
Thank you very much. As Lovington now will get a chance to get some of those runs back, and they are an aggressive team at the bat. For sure, and they're going to be even more anxious to get those runs back, to stand at the plate and start hitting, and that's the danger if they're a little too just a little over anxious. They need to just settle in and just attack at the bat like they are, leave the emotion out of it, and just stand up there and try to populate the bases and bat them around and get those runs back.
Well, and Roswell High certainly didn't come out like a team that is 0-4.
No.
They had a game plan, and they executed.
They
did. You've got to give them credit. In that first half, they executed, and so now it'll be up to Lovington to get them back and make some adjustments.
Yeah, they bunted. They had a couple of little bloop pop, almost accidental hits, but it was effective, and they were able to move runners around with bigger hits. Marquez steps up in the box, swings and misses. Again, this is going to be the danger. Lovington needs to not want it too much. So they need to watch the ball, just follow their fundamentals of hitting, and get on base. This one comes in high and inside for ball 1, 1-1 on Marquez, the center fielder for Lovington. First batter up for the Lady Wildcats. And again, they're down 6-0. They need to get those runs back. And there's a hit. It's a high pop drifting over. Under it is Grajada at second base, and she fields it. So out number 1 on a pop fly to the second baseman sends Marquez back to the bench. 13, Angelina Corral, the second baseman for Lovington, coming up to bat. her as one out now.
And it comes in high for ball one.
Chasing some lineups and paperwork over here by my book. The breeze is gusty this afternoon.
And coming right into the booth, too.
And this pitch comes up a little high. 2 balls. If I were Lovington, I would probably make this pitcher prove herself and make her pitch to you. I would probably take anything that she gives you for free. That one's a heater, though, coming across the middle of the plate, so you don't want to stand and watch 3 hittable balls go by you, but you also want to make the pitcher work for it and earn it, unless, of course, you're trying to do what Roswell did, and that's high for ball 3, 3-1 the count, and that is just get on base quickly. But it looks like Lovington is really going to try to make her work for it, and it may be. That's going to be high for ball 4, and there's a walk. As I said, you're going to make this pitcher, make her come to you, and take what you can get. That puts a base runner on. That's Corral, and she's very speedy. And it brings up number 1, Kaylee Vega, your pitcher for Lovington, who is a very capable batter. We've watched her slug a couple of out-of-the-park homers in games this season, and she can help her own cause. The first one come in high. And comes in high, ball 1, 1-0. Kaylee looking down to Coach McGraw, third base. Corral out there on first, ready to run. And Espinosa checking out Marquez, wants to keep her on first. Or not Marquez, Corral. And this pitch comes in, and it is going to be strike 1, 1-1, and a throw down to first by Espinosa has Corral scrambling back. She makes it in time. But Espinosa, for sure, keeping her eye on there. They want to try to keep the runners right on base. This pitch comes in, a well-hit ball right out between center and left. Diving for it is Aragon. She can't get it, and that's going to, I thought it might score 1, but it is going to be a stand-up double for Vega, and it moves Corral all the way around to third. And Lovington is in business.
Well, and a lot of times that one is probably out of here, but again, the wind about 25 miles an hour on the gusty side of things coming in as Vega will come out. Courtesy runner goes in. That'll be Reyes standing at second as Udahara, the designated player, will step in. Lovington trying to chip into a 6-0 lead with 1 out here in the first.
Delaney Udahara, I think her nickname is Laney. She's on the roster as Delaney, but Coach McCraw put her down as Laney Udahara. Number 11 in the box. Runners on second and third. Only 1 out. Lovington needs to bring those runners in. First pitch comes in, and it's going to fall. It's a Texas leaguer falling behind shortstop. It'll score 1. Rounding third. Nope, they're going to keep her. Coach is going to keep Vega at third, but the RBI single for Udahara gives Lovington, puts them on the board. And that's going to be enough to get Lovington started in this so they can keep their bats hot and keep them cooking. Sienna DePorto is one of those hot bats, normally very dependable hitter. Number 10, the catcher, DePorto, stepping up to the plate with runners at first and third. And now 6-1 is your score. Roswell leading. First pitch comes in. It's going to be just a little high for ball number 1. DePorto, even though she's a slugger, she's got a pretty discerning eye. As a catcher, you would expect that. She comes in. Her stance is just a little open, not wide open, but just a bit. And she takes an inside ball and hits a long pop. It's going to go right to Banda, but it's going to score 1 as Vega tags up and then comes across the plate. So an RBI. DePorto does her job with an RBI pop fly.
And now up to bat
it's
for the Wildcats,
out number
Annalise
2.
Chavarria.
Out number 2, but number 7, Annalise Chavarria, left fielder, comes up for Lovington. And that's Udahara out on second now. Well, first swing. Fouls back to the back screen, so becomes strike number 1. 0-1 the count. 2 outs now. And the score 6-2. I think I said 6-1 a moment ago. So you've got runner in scoring position. Oh, and another cutout. It was an outside ball. Probably would have been called a ball had she let that go, but it could become strike number 2. Still, she thought she could reach it and get a handle on it, and wanting to get her teammate across the plate. So 0-2 on Chavarria now. 2 outs. Lovington managing to get 2 of their runs back. It's going to be high for ball number 1.
Thought about chasing that one, but did a nice job holding off as Sandoval offering it up there. A lot of times players will swing at them when they're up around eyeball level.
And Sandoval, so far, when she's missed the zone, they've mostly been high balls. And there's another one that probably would have been just a high ball, but Chavarria takes a swing and a miss, strikeout for the 3rd out. That's going to send everybody back in the dugout. So we go to the top of the 2nd inning. Your score, though, now is 6-2. Lovington managing to chip away just a little bit. We'll be back with more Lovington Lady Wildcat Softball and Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports.
When it comes to your hard-earned money, selecting the right bank is vital. Hi, I'm David Campbell, president of First American Bank in Lovington. First American Bank in Lovington is part of this community. So bank with trusted partners you know, and trusted partners that are part of this area we call home. First American Bank offers all the advantages big corporate banks do, and we do our banking with hometown support and commitment. Choose First American Bank, 19 West Washington in Lovington. We want to earn your trust, then earn your business.
General Welding Supply, Inc., the only locally owned and operated welding supply shop in Lee County. Why is shopping local important? There are many reasons. Shopping local keeps your dollar right here in Lee County. The staff at General Welding Supply shops the same stores you do. How about support? General Welding Supply supports local by sponsoring schools and youth sports. Shop General Welding Supply in Hobbs and Lovington. General Welding Supply, a proud supporter of Lovington sports. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called SmartHub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the SmartHub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the SmartHub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with SmartHub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
Back here at Lady Wildcat Field, top of the 2nd inning, Roswell leading 6-2 with the call. Dawn Morgan.
And coming up to bat will be number 4 and playing position 4, Mireya Grajada. First pitch by Vega comes in high and outside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count, as Roswell puts 6 runs on the board in their first at bat. This one is fouled back high and right over the press box. I think it's going to miss us. I was waiting for the bonk, but I guess it went even farther, maybe back toward the parking lot. So strike 1 on Grajada, who had an infield pop and got on base her first time at bat and ended up crossing the plate, being one of the 6 runs that Roswell scored in that top of the first. And she swings and gets a piece of this. Foul tips it back to the screen. Just cut right under it. Her timing wasn't bad, but she hit just under the ball, and with the spin that Vega put on it, she spun it back for second strike. 1-2 the count on Grajada. Morales waits on deck. Cruz Banda in the hole. And this pitch is going to be outside for ball number 2. Grajada thought about it. She leaned, but she didn't offer. Vega stepping back on the rubber. And this one dribbled right back to the mound, just out of reach of Vega. Instead, Corral picks it up and makes the throw just in time to O'Gean for the first out.
Nope,
so
they're going to call her safe.
They're going to call her.
So
Came off the bag. Okay.
That's her second infield single of the ball game, and it gets them started just like they did last inning with a runner at first on the first hitter.
I shouldn't have assumed. I saw the throw on the way over, and I looked down at my book and looked back up and realized, nope, she's safe. So a little infield hit. Again, that one it was a slow roller, and it took so long to get over to second base. Corral threw as quickly as she could. And this heater comes in right over the outside corner for call strike 1. Morales just looks at that A lot of pop in the glove on that. Again, you can tell when things are frustrating, Vega tends to sizzle the next few pitches for sure. This one also a heater is going to miss outside. Ball one, 1-1 on Morales.
It's not like they've hit Vega very hard. Matter of fact, I think
No.
maybe one hit and it turned into an out that had anything appreciable on it. They're just hitting it where it's almost impossible to get to in time.
They've kind of just been hitting a little slow dribblers and little dinks just barely out of range of the infield. Swing and a cut at that, got a piece of it, but strike two, 1-2 on Morales. And it is frustrating when you can understand it when your opposing team is scoring by just hitting you out of the park, but Roswell's not. And that's going to be low and outside for ball number 2. Going to even the count up 2-2 on Morales. Up next will be Bonda, who struck out her first time at bat. But right now your runner at first is Grajada. And Roswell is up by 4. Oh, that was a high outside ball, but I guess she was probably protecting the plate just a little, thinking that it might have been, right on the outside corner. Morales swings, sends it out foul territory. Count remains 2-2. And Vega taking her time, getting back on the mound, looking over to Coach McCraw in the dugout. I think just double-checking her plan on the pitch. And this is going to be low and inside. It's going to get away from DePorto, and that's going to send Grajada to second base. So Grajada on that. How are you going to score it? Pass ball or wild pitch? Pass ball, because the catcher did get a glove on it. So on the pass ball, Grajada sitting in scoring position for Roswell. No outs. And this is a long fly ball headed to right field. Trying to grab it is Chloe Corral. She's not able to get it, in fact, falling. But coming over to cover for her from center field is Marquez and keeps it from more damage being done. So it's going to be a double for Morales, and it moves Grajada over to third base. So Morales with the double brings Clarice Bonda up to the plate. She bats in the cleanup position. She's the left fielder for Roswell, but she did strike out her first time at bat. First pitch comes in, and it's a ball. 1-0, the count on Bonda. With runners on second and third, that's Morales on second and Grajada sitting out on third. A long, well-hit ball for Morales. This one foul-tipped back for strike one. 1-1 on Bonda.
And still nobody out here in the top of the second, and Roswell threatening again, already up by 4 runs, 6-2, and a 1-1 count on Bonda, as you mentioned, at the plate.
Sandoval on deck, and there's a hit ball out to shortstop, picked up, and it is going to score 1 run as the throw to first is in time, and then O'Gean fires it back to Chavarria, not in time, so that is going to move Morales over to third. Grajada crosses the plate, so it is
RBI ground out.
Yep, an RBI ground out for Bonda, but it does, increase the lead by Roswell on that one. But still, pretty well hit ball again. A slower one though, and this one swing, getting a piece of it is Sandoval for strike 1. 0-1 the count on her now.
Sandoval walked and scored. Her last time up worked the count full before she took ball 4.
Just 1 out now in this top of the second inning with Sandoval. Watches that one come in. A heater for call strike 2. Nice fastball by Vega. Sitting over there on third, though, is Morales. Just the 1 out for Lovington. Again, as you said, trailing 6-2 in this one, or now 7-2. There's a swing and miss. Oh, a swing and a tip. Fouled back to the backstop, so count remains 0-2. On Sandoval, she's the pitcher for Roswell. As you said, walked her first time up, ended up crossing the plate. And this is going to be high and inside for ball 1, as Vega has a couple of pitches to give. I think she was trying to get Sandoval to swing at that or trying for it to get a little bit lower in the zone. This one is hit and into shallow right field. Again, it's going to drop for a hit. It's going to score. And that brings Morales home, and that is going to be a single for Sandoval. A little outfield hit. Again, just a blooper right. Too far for Olguin to go back from first to get, and just too far for Corral to come into and get. Roswell is just, I don't know if they're this good at placing their hits or if they're just getting lucky this afternoon.
I think a lot of it is really luck at this point.
Luck and the wind is holding up some of these balls that they're sending up in the air. The wind is just kind of holding it up just a little bit and dropping it in.
And I noticed that Corral in right field has moved in. She was playing pretty deep. Now she's moved in pretty shallow.
And the pitch comes in. That's going to be just a little bit high. So ball 2 on Raquel Gonzalez, your third baseman for Roswell. She hit an RBI, 2 RBI line drive her first time at bat. She takes it back toward the screen for strike 1. Your pitch counts 2-1 now. Your pitch to the batter is 2-1. Again, Lovington, this is uncharacteristic for them. On paper, they're coming into this game heavily favored over the Roswell team, 0-4 at this point. Oh, and there's another ball as DePorto can't block that out, and that's going to mean an advance runner. Sandoval is going to go to second.
And it'll be ball 3 to Gonzalez. I noticed that Coach McCraw right now has maybe a player warming up in the bullpen, just kind of getting loose over there, Udahara.
And the pitch comes in. Oh, I'm not sure I would take off and assume that that was a ball. That was just low. And that becomes the second walk that Vega has issued today. It puts Gonzalez on first. Still just 1 out with runners at first and second for Roswell. It brings number 2, Maria Aragon, the center fielder, up to the plate. First pitch is high for ball number 1. Aragon hit an RBI single. Her first time up at bat, ended up crossing the plate. In fact, she was the last runner to cross the plate in that top of the first inning. And a fastball coming in and way out. Vega was way out in front of Aragon on that. She
got a piece of it.
Got a piece of it.
Didn't get a lot of it.
Took a good cut at it, but really way in front of that. So strike 1, 1-1 is your count. And brings the heat this time. A little dribbler right back to the mound. Vega throwing to first, getting her out. And then Olguin firing over to Chavarria, but not in time to get the runner. So 2 outs now, though, with that one being 1, scoring 1-3 for the second out. And now runners at second and third for Roswell, and Leah Sanchez, the first baseman, coming up to bat. She's a lefty. She grounded out to third her first time at bat. First one comes in. That's nice. Just right at the low end of the strike zone for strike 1 on Sanchez. As 0-1 your count. 2 outs, runners on second and third. 2 runs scored for Roswell in this at bat. They're up 8-2, and a swing and a miss as a beautiful fastball broke right over the outside corner for strike 2. 0-2 on Sanchez. As Lovington really would like to get this batter out. And another low but 2 outside ball for ball number 1. It's about the same height off of the plate, but it broke a little too much before it got there. 1-2 the count on Sanchez. 2 outs. Lovington needing to get back in the dugout quick as they can, and another strike. That's it. So strikeout finally ends that inning, but 2 runs cross the plate, and going into the bottom of the second, the score is 8-2. We'll be back with more Lovington Lady Wildcat softball on the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports.
It's no secret, at some point you'll have a question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle's new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that helps keep your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington, your Napa Auto Store.
We're the pharmacy that you've trusted for over 75 years. Being open for that length of time can only happen with consistency, service, and local engagement. Nowell Pharmacy has supported the local youth in City of Lovington for over 75 years. When you need a pharmacist, you can trust that Nowell Pharmacy will be there for your needs. Go by Nowell Pharmacy located at 122 West Adams in Lovington today. Nowell Pharmacy, a proud supporter of the Lovington Wildcats.
Welcome back to Lovington Lady Cat Softball from the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports. In the top of the second inning, it was 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors committed by Lovington. 2 runners left on base for Roswell High. So we head to the bottom of the second. Lovington with some work to do, trailing by a score of 8-2. I'm TJ Miracle, and as we head to the bottom of the second, here's Dawn Morgan.
Thank you very much. Coming up will be number 9, Jocelyn O'Gean, the first baseman for Lovington, her first time up at bat.
The Lovington Wildcats, Jocelyn O'Gean.
The Lady Cats in a hole, and they need to continue to dig themselves out. They were able to score 2 runs in their first at bat, but Roswell promptly put 2 more runs on the board. So Lovington finds themselves still down by 6 runs. And they got in that hole in the Roswell's very first at bat, so they need to dig themselves out, and it starts with this batter. High and outside, the first pitch, ball 1 on O'Gean. As Sandoval, she's got decent speed. When she misses, it's generally high balls, either in the zone or right outside of the zone, and that's going to cross the plate. She took a little off of it to get it right down the middle, and O'Gean watched that. So 1-1 is your count. Lovington's got to be efficient at the plate. There's a swing, and it's going to go foul just beyond the Lovington dugout off to the right, as O'Gean got just a piece of it. Kind of swung a little bit late and a little under it for strike number 2. 1-2 your count. So Lovington cannot wait to get things started. Every batter needs to stand up and try to do their part. I'm sure Coach McGraw has been telling them that. And this is going to come in and hit the corner. I think O'Gean thought it might be high, but with the 2 strikes on, you got to be protecting the plate. So that's strikeout and out number 1.
Second strikeout of the ball game for Sandoval is now Aaliyah Chavarria, the third baseman, will step up to the plate and trying to get Lovington something going here, trailing by 6. They just looked a little bit flat so far through the first inning and a little more than a half.
Yep. Chavarria, your third baseman, is going to stand up. She is usually, again, part of the capable hitters for Lovington. And she does crack at the first one, but it goes foul off beyond the Lovington dugout just to the right. So the count 0-1 on Chavarria. Lovington again trailing by 6. They've got to chip away every inning and really try to break it open. And there's a call, strike 2. Chavarria with her bat on her shoulder on that one. 0-2 the count. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk issued so far by Sandoval on the mound for Roswell. And a swing and fouling right back into the stands. And one of the fans reached up, caught that, sending it back over so they can throw that back onto the field. So the count still 0-2 on Chavarria, protecting the plate with that swing. And I don't think she felt like she could do a lot with it, but she did want to spoil the strike. And now a strike comes in, hits right back to the mound, and it is going to go just off to the left enough that Morales in shortstop brings it over and sends it to first in plenty of time. So the throw 6-3, shortstop to first, gets Chavarria and makes the second out now. And we'll bring up number 5, Aaliyah Hernandez, the shortstop for Lovington, to the plate. Her first time at bat in this game. 2 outs. Lovington still trailing 8-6 in this bottom of the second inning. And she goes over for a little chat with Coach McGraw out there on third base. Steps into the box. She's a right-handed batter. Aaliyah Hernandez, shortstop. She's got a lot of speed, too, both in the field and on the plate. And she hits a little grounder right to Sanchez at first. Sanchez handles it unassisted for the third out. They go up, three down. Not what Lovington wanted. They're going to head to the top of the third inning. Still trailing. Your score is 8-6. Roswell leading. And we'll be back with more Lovington Lady Cat softball on New Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports.
For tubing testing and scanning in the Permian Basin, call Empire Services. Empire's been in business since 2012 and has maintained the professional and dependable service company for tubing testing and scanning. Empire Services, a proud supporter of all Lovington High School athletics. The team at Empire Services wishes the Cat athletes the best of luck this season. Don't forget, if you're in need of tubing testing and scanning, call Empire Services at 575-318-6465, 318-6465.
Attention shoppers, Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
In Roswell's half of the, or rather in Lovington's half of the second inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We head to the third. Roswell High leading Lovington 8-2. And with the call, Dawn Morgan.
Coming up to bat is going to be number 6, Jasmine Lucero, the right fielder for Roswell. She hit a 2 RBI single her first time at bat. First pitch comes in, swing and a miss for strike one. So 0-1 the count on Lucero, as that was just a bit of a changeup by Vega. It was not a complete changeup, but it wasn't a heater either. So medium speed, a little off-speed pitch though. Getting back into the plate, Lucero. A swing and a miss as Vega brought the heat that time, and Lucero was way behind it. So 0-2 your count on Lucero, as Lovington really needs to just get these batters put down and get back in the dugout. Start getting some runs back on the board. That one misses just outside, just off the outside corner for ball number 1. 1-2 on Lucero. And Espinosa is on deck for Roswell. This also took off a little speed, trying to sucker Lucero, getting her to chase on an outside, and it was just a little too outside, and the ump playing a little bit. The Lovington faithful thought that was right over the plate, and it wasn't. It was right in the zone, but just a little off the plate. And a swing and a miss. Got her to chase one that was a little high, and that's strikeout number 4 for Vega, and it's going to bring up the top of the order, Talissa Espinosa, the catcher for Roswell, back up to the plate. So one down, and Lovington really needs to sit these batters down as soon as they can, quickly as they can, and try to get back and start getting some runs on the board. And Espinosa bats from the left side of the plate. Stands up and hits this one and it just goes just over Vega's head. Just a little dinker as that slap hit from that left side of the plate. Very effective. And once again, Espinosa is on base with a single. She hit a little bloop single out to third base in her first time at bat. And she is now on first and bringing up Maria Grajada, number 4, the second baseman for Roswell. She hit had an infield hit both times at bat and crossed the plate both times in both of the at-bats for Roswell. And a little timeout taken and called for as Grajada goes and has a little bit of a conference with her third base coach. Going back to the plate now. So runner standing out on first. Espinosa with that little infield blooper Grajada waiting for her first pitch. And she shows bunt, but it goes foul. She hit the ball and deadened it, but didn't. She hit it down and back just a little bit, and it ended up going into foul territory. DePorto going back to pick that one up. Becomes strike number 1, 0-1 on Grajada. Obviously trying to move the runner around. Get on base if she can, but at least move the runner. And this swinging away hits a high pop. Drifting under it is going to be Leah Hernandez, catching that easily for the second out. So a pop out to the shortstop sends Grajada back to the dugout, brings up Sarai Morales, the shortstop, who had a double, has hit a double and a single in the game so far. She's 2 for 2.
And a couple of runs scored for her tally, too.
Right. So she gets up to bat. First one, she shows bunt. Oh, and the throw down to second base. There's nobody there to take it, but coming in, luckily Marquez saw that DePorto threw and came in to field that. Had it gotten by Marquez, there would have been nobody else. It would have rolled out there. But as it is, it's a stolen base for Espinosa. So
yeah, luckily not a throwing error in there as well. So
right.
Lovington just needs to take a deep breath and settle down. They've got 2 outs here. They're only down by 6. They can make that up plenty of time.
So 2 outs, Morales at bat, and she hits a little slow roller to Olguin, who goes back, touches the bag for the 3rd out, and as you said, it becomes a harmless inning with no runs, and on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 3rd. Lovington coming up to bat. They still trail, though, 8-2. And we'll be back with Lovington Wildcats softball on the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports.
Wildcat Sports proudly presented by the Lovington Schools. The Lovington Schools say go Cats and support all of their students in both academics and athletics. Remember, fans, you can be back in the stands, but you do have to wear your masks. Wear your mask. Let's get things back to normal. This reminder from the Lovington Schools, proud supporters of the Cats and Lady Cats.
Devon Energy is proud to support the athletic programs of Lovington High School this season. By partnering with local schools in Lovington, Devon is making an investment in the long-term future of the community. Sports teach discipline, teamwork, and leadership. Skills our youth will use to succeed for a lifetime. From the Devon team to yours, Devon Energy wishes you good luck this season, both on the field and in the classroom. Go Wildcats!
When it comes to your hard-earned money, selecting the right bank is vital. Hi, I'm David Campbell, president of First American Bank in Lovington. First American Bank in Lovington is part of this community. So bank with trusted partners you know, and trusted partners that are part of this area we call home. First American Bank offers all the advantages big corporate banks do, and we do our banking with hometown support and commitment. Choose First American Bank, 19 West Washington in Lovington. We want to earn your trust, then earn your business.
Back here at Lady Wildcat Field, the Lady Cats trailing the Roswell High Lady Coyotes, a score of 8-2 with Dawn Morgan on TJ Miracle. Of course, the Lady Coyotes, a 5A team in the Hobbs and Carlsbad district. Lovington, of course, in the 4A district. So back to it, and here's Dawn Morgan.
Thank you very much. Top of the order is due back up for Lovington as number 3, Avery Marquez, the center fielder, will come up to bat. She hit a pop to the shortstop, little pop fly to the shortstop, her first time at bat. First pitch comes in, swinging a hit, but a grounder to shortstop. Picking it up is Morales, throwing to Sanchez for the first out. So first pitch of the inning, or first pitch of the at-bat, rather, is out number 1. And that's going to bring up number 13, Angela Corral, the second baseman for Lovington. She walked her last time up at bat, scored one of the 2 runs that Lovington has put on the board. She comes up, nobody on base, and it hits.
It hits her
hits
bat.
her. Yeah, it hits, but it hit her hand as well. She kind of turned her bat just a little bit. It hit the bat, hit her hand, so she takes first base as she is hit by pitch.
The pitcher,
So, yeah, Angelina just went on down. I heard it hit the bat, and the umpire initially signaled foul ball, but I guess he changed his mind and So, hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, she kind of waved her hand, and he nodded, and she went on. So I looked up and saw that. Vega swings, takes a cut at a high outside one for strike number 1, as Vega really wanted to swat that one out, and she's capable. She is a pitcher who hits very well.
Well, she slugged one to right center, got all the way to the wall back in the first, so she is 1 for 1.
And this pitch comes in. It's going to be low and inside for ball number 1. A throw from Espinosa down to Sanchez. Holds Corral on first. Corral is speedy, and she's looking at that second base and wants to steal it. Wants to be on that in scoring position as soon as she can get there. And a changeup comes in. Oh, it's going to catch the inside corner. I thought that was a little inside and a little high, and Vega moved back to make room for it, but the ump thought that was a strike on the edge of the zone.
Had a little late break on it.
Yeah, 1-2, and Vega slaps this one. It's a high, and it's going to go over the right fielder as Lucero chases into the corner for it, and holding up at third is Corral. It's going to be a stand-up double, another one for Vega, as she moves the runner around, almost gets an RBI out of it, but she is going to be on second with Corral sitting on third, and number 11, Delaney Urahara, your designated player, up as she hit an RBI single her first time at bat.
And now
we're going to have a courtesy runner out for Vega, and that's going to be, it's Reyes, okay, and
number 2.
Anai Reyes. So Reyes will be on second, Corral on third, Urahara at the plate. Runners on second and third, and Lovington needs those runs. 1 out, and there's a swing and a high fly ball drifting foul as both Lucero and Grajada drift over, chasing it, the second baseman and right fielder for Roswell, but it drifts foul. It hung up in the air, and I think the wind really helped that one drift over to the right. Becomes a long strike 1 for Urahara. 0-1 is her count, but she definitely has power at the bat. She wants to straighten that one out and bring a couple of runs in if she can. And it's going to be high. In fact, Espinosa has to get up out of the crouch, jump up, and get that one. If she didn't, it would have been a pass ball and might have scored Vega from third, or rather Corral from third. Vega actually had a courtesy runner for her at second, and this ball is going to come in low and inside. Ball number 2, 2-1, your count on Urahara. As Lovington downs 8-2, but they could have a breakout inning. They are very capable of having, and they have done this against several teams so far this season, where they have a breakout inning and score 4, 5, 6 runs. And this is going to be a grounder over to third. It's bobbled by Gonzalez. She throws home and does not get Corral. Corral safe at the plate, and that means that Reyes moves to third, and Urahara, on the fielder's choice, is standing at first base, and just 1 out for Lovington. So runners at first and third on the corners now, and number 10, Sienna DePorto, the catcher for Lovington, coming up to bat. She had an RBI pop fly, a sac fly, in her first time at bat. Annalise Chavarria is on deck for Lovington, and Jocelyn Olguin in the hole. Runners at the corners, only 1 out, and Lovington now trailing only by 5 runs, 8-3. DePorto ready. First pitch is hit right up the center. It's a grounder fielded by Morales, but bobbled. Then she throws, and coming in on that is Reyes, the pinch runner for Vega. So another run scores for Lovington, and it also moves Urahara over to second, and DePorto is on first on a field on an error, though. That's an E6 on the bobble, and then also an error on the catch, really, not the throw so much as the catch. So E6 for sure. And
just the one error on the play is it was the bobble that allowed her to get on, even if she hadn't pulled the first baseman off.
But still sloppy play by both.
Definitely
at the fielding level, and then at the catching level too. The throw was high, and also first baseman came off and bobbled it, dropped it out of her gloves as well. So
as Coach Savino Sanchez, the assistant coach, comes out to have a word with the infield
well,
and
this has
try and settle things down.
This definitely has that feeling. I was just talking a couple of minutes ago about how capable Lovington is of having those breakout at-bats where they just pour it on and they rattle the other team and they get them into, and they force them into some errors and running and throwing errors, or throwing and fielding errors, that is. And this has all the feel of one of those breakout at-bats for Lovington, and I think Roswell knows it. So runners at first and second now, only one out, and the pitch comes in. Oh, a swing and a miss, as it was a high ball, but Chavarria wanted it too much. Takes a swing and a cut at it.
And Coach McCraw just says, settle it down, settle it down, find your pitch.
0-1 is the count now on Chavarria. And high, and Chavarria definitely thought about it. Coming out of the crouch, Espinosa throws down to Sanchez and holds DePorto on first.
And DePorto that's a courtesy runner.
I think that's a courtesy. I was about to say there's a courtesy runner.
I think that's March Morales, and so she was way off, and so taking the chance was Espinosa.
And this is going to come in. Oh, it's a call strike right over the inside corner. So that's a 1-2 count now on Chavarria.
And again, that's another one of them that started inside and broke very, very late. That's an effective pitch if she can control it.
1-2 the count, one out. Runners on first and second for Lovington. And this one comes in a little high and inside, but protecting the plate. Chavarria takes a cut at it to spoil that strike, sends it back to the screen. The count remains 1-2. Again, just one out. Lovington needing to keep this inning going, this at-bat going, and move those runners around and in to get some more of those runs back. It's at 8-4 as Lovington is chipping away at that lead by Roswell now. And this is going to be high and outside. So that makes the count to 2-2, evens it all up to Chavarria, 2-2. And again, the wheels threatening to come off for Roswell right here, and Lovington knows it. They just need to be calm and focused and keep putting the pressure on. And a big swing and a crack. Will it stay fair? No, it's going to drift foul. A long pop, fly, hit off to the left field, but it goes out into foul territory. So
and it hung up a little in the wind. It gave Bonda a chance to maybe make a play on it. I think she was running out of room against the wall there. She might have had a chance to lay out for that.
She definitely was watching that, trying to gauge it. She was running full out. But I think it just drifted too far. I think the wind pulled that and drifted it out of her path, which is a good thing. Lovington, it just becomes a long strike. The count remains 2-2. And this one, a swing and a miss. As actually Sandoval took a little bit off of that one. It came in just at the top of the strike zone, and Chavarria took a good cut at it, hit just under it and spun it back, spun it foul. Out of play, off to our right. Count remains 2-2. Chavarria struck out her last time at bat, looking to has something to prove here and wants to move runners around and in if she can. Oh, and yes, that's going to be a call, strike 3, as Chavarria did not swing at
and now
that.
batting for the Lovington Wildcats, Jocelyn Oyegun.
So out number 2, Chavarria striking out again. Number 9, Jocelyn Oyegun, the first baseman for Lovington, coming up. She also struck out her last time at bat. Lovington does not want to strand these runners at first and second. First pitch comes in, swing and a miss, and a throw down to first is not in time as the courtesy runner, which I believe is Morales, courtesy running for DePorto over there on first, scrambles back to the bag in time, and it is 0-1 the count on Oyegun.
A double hitch over there for Sanchez, or Morales may be out.
And this is going to be, that's a dangerous pitch to let go, because this ump is calling the inside corner. And Sandoval is hitting that with that pitch, but this one a little too low, a little too inside. Ball 1. 1-1 is the count. So 2 outs in this one, runners on first and second. And this pitch is low, almost gets away from Espinosa. The runners off at first and second, eyeing that and looking, hoping that it was going to get past Espinosa, but she blocks it out, threatens to throw, comes up with it. So 1-2 or 2-1 rather. 2-1 is your count on Olguin. And this is going to be high. Does she go? No. She offered, but pulled her back in time. So 3-1 the count on Olguin. Only one walk issued by Sandoval in this game. She's got 2 strikeouts, or 3 strikeouts now. In fact, I think that's the same as Vega in this. No, Vega's got 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. And a fastball coming in. That is going to be strike number 2. It's going to put the count full on Olguin. So 3-2 your count. Runners on first and second. Lovington trails by 4. They really need to get runners around and in. So it's all on the shoulders of Olguin. 2 strikes against her. And this is going to come in high. It's a walk.
They were just making sure.
High for ball 4, and Olguin takes first base. So it loads the bases. Loads the bases for Lovington, and coming up is number 16, Aaliyah Chavarria, the third baseman for Lovington. She hit a grounder to the shortstop and got thrown out her first time at bat. Now she's got bases loaded, 2 outs. And Lovington trails by 4. She is potentially the tying run at the plate. And the ball comes in high for ball 1. Chavarria got down in the count early. Got 0-2 and really had to hit a ball and protect the plate when she grounded out her first time at bat. This one's going to come in oh, yes, it does catch that corner. I tell you, the Lovington batters are going to have to start swinging at that pitch. They think it's going to come in and it's going to be too inside and too low, but it's clipping the corner. The ump is calling it, and they're going to have to swing at it. Chavarria takes a swing at that. It was just a fastball over the middle of the plate and just chips it back harmlessly, spins it back to the backstop. 1-2 is your count.
And when we were here last Friday, Chavarria did have a bases loaded situation against Hobbs. Guess what happened, remember? She put it out of the park.
She did.
Grand slam home run.
She hit a grand slam homer out of the park, and it was a great moment. And that's going to be high for ball number 2, 2-2, as Sandoval is showing a little frustration. 2-2. I mean, there's no way that could have been called a strike, so I don't know what her frustration is, but she was definitely showing a little bit.
I think maybe frustrated that Chavarria didn't offer at it.
And she does at this one. Chavarria chases a high ball for strike 3, and that is the 4th strikeout for Sandoval. It ends Lovington's chances to score more in that bottom of the 3rd. So the score of 8-4. We'll be back with the top of the 4th inning here at Lovington. Lovington softball action back on the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports.
General Welding Supply, Inc., the only locally owned and operated welding supply shop in Lee County. Why is shopping local important? There are many reasons. Shopping local keeps your dollar right here in Lee County. The staff at General Welding Supply shops the same stores you do. How about support? General Welding Supply supports local by sponsoring schools and youth sports. Shop General Welding Supply in Hobbs and Lovington. General Welding Supply, a proud supporter of Lovington sports. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called SmartHub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the SmartHub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the SmartHub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with SmartHub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
In Lovington's half of the 3rd inning, 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error committed by Roswell, but the bases left loaded. As we head now to the 4th inning, I'm TJ Miracle. Lovington trails 8-4, and with the call, Dawn Morgan.
And boy, Lovington may, let's hope that they don't look back at that bottom of the 3rd inning and say, oh, coulda, woulda, shoulda, because leaving those bases loaded, it definitely hurts. They've left, with that, they have left 4 on base in this game, and Roswell has left 4 on base as well, but Roswell's hitting was timelier, and they are ahead 8-4 in this one. However, we still have plenty of softball left, and Lovington is a very capable team. And they need to get these outs as fast as they can. First pitch comes in on Clarice Banda, and it is a call, strike one, as Vega bringing the heat. And Banda struck out her first time at bat, and she hit an RBI ground out her second time. And this one comes in. It is a ball, 1-1 on Banda now, as Lovington really needs to keep Roswell from developing anything at all in this at bat. And a nice fastball is swung on and chipped off to the right. It's going to roll foul just beyond the first baseline and becomes strike number 2. 1-2 count on Banda. Lovington trailing 8-4, but again, they're very capable of making that up. But they missed a golden opportunity in that bottom of the third inning. So Vega looking to do her part, trying to get these outs. And a swing and a miss. She brought the heat, and strikeout number 5 for Vega sends Banda back to the dugout and brings up number 13, Victoria Sandoval, the pitcher. She hit a single her last time up and had a walk and scored a run her first time at bat. So she is 1 for 2. Coming up to the plate, no bases, no base runners, 1 out. And the first pitch, just a little high. It was right over the plate. And I think Vega thought Sandoval would go for it, and at the very least it would be a call strike, because Sandoval is a taller girl. First, and the next one comes in, and it's in the dirt. And DePorto tries to block it out. A little bit of a wild pitch there for Vega. Becomes ball number 2, 2-0.
Coach Martin bringing out the sunglasses for Chavarria as the sun starts peeking out through the cloud cover. A little bit hard, I'm sure, on Chavarria over there at third.
Definitely, and probably in the eyes of Hernandez there at shortstop as well. Third pitch comes in. A swing, a little dribbler back to the mound. Vega picks it up and throws it over to Olguin. So 1-3 for out number 2. And this is what Lovington needs, a quick, harmless inning so they can get back into the dugout and start chipping away again at this Roswell lead. 8-4 is your score here in the top of the 4th inning. 2 outs, no runners on. And coming up to the plate is number 12, Raquel Gonzalez, third baseman for Roswell. First pitch is a nice strike right over the outside corner. A fastball, not her fastest, but a really nice pitch for Vega. 0-1 the count. And this one, another heater, and this is going to go, out to right field. Little Texas leaguer that Corral came in on and just couldn't get her glove on, but she does chase it down. They throw in, is going to be in time to hold Gonzalez on second, but it is going to be a double for her. And with 2 outs, that brings to number 2, Maria Aragon, to the plate. She's a center fielder. She grounded out to the pitcher and then hit an RBI single and scored her first time up. Runner on second. First pitch comes in. Just a little low. Just a little low for ball 1. 1-0 the count on Aragon, with Gonzalez sitting out there in scoring position for Roswell. Roswell leads this one 8-4. And Vega, nice off-speed pitch. She took a lot off of that, brought it right over the center of the plate. A big watermelon, and Aragon could not help herself. She was way out in front. Nice pitch, and it's 1-1 the count. And bringing the heat, a little dribbler hit over to Chavarria. She throws to Olguin, and out number 3. So 5-3 if you're scoring that for the third out, and that means that no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Lovington a chance to get some of the runs back. It's 8-4 your score. We're back with Lovington Wildcats softball on New Digital and One Radio Square Sports.
Looking for tubing testing and scanning in the Permian Basin? Call Empire Services. Empire's been in business since 2012 and has maintained the professional and dependable service company for tubing testing and scanning. Empire Services, a proud supporter of all Lovington High School athletics. The team at Empire Services wishes the Cat athletes the best of luck this season. Don't forget, if you're in need of tubing testing and scanning, call Empire Services at 575-318-6465, 318-6465.
Attention shoppers, Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
At the halfway point of this one, it is Roswell High leading our Lady Cats 8-4. TJ Miracle line score through the first 3.5 for Roswell High. 8 runs on 11 hits, 1 error committed, and they've left 5 on base. For Lovington, 4 runs on 3 hits. They have also committed an error, and they've left 4 runners stranded. So heading in to this bottom of the 4th inning, it'll be 9-1-2. Hernandez, Marquez, and Corral due up. And with the call, Dawn Morgan.
All right, setting your field for Roswell High. Sandoval on the mound, Espinosa catching, Sanchez still on first, Grajada on second. You've got Morales at short, Gonzalez on a third, Bondon left, Aragon center, Lucero right. And up to the plate for Lovington is going to be number 5, Aaliyah Hernandez. She hit a little dribbler over to first base and was thrown out her first time at bat. This is her second time up. She plays shortstop for Lovington. Sandoval with the first pitch in, and it is high for ball number 1. 1-0 the count. 8-4 is your score. Lovington trailing by 4, but they can definitely help their cause this at bat. Put some runs on the board, and she shows bunt, slaps it down, but it rolls foul for strike number 1. So Hernandez, she slapped that out there a little bit late. I guess she decided to bunt a little bit late, and I think that accounted for partly why that rolled foul. This one, she hits away, and it's going to hit right to second base. And picking it up, making the little toss over to first is Grajada to Sanchez for out number 1. Not the way Lovington wanted to start off with it, as they got to get some of these runs back. And that's going to bring the top of the order back up with number 3, Avery Marquez's center fielder back up. She grounded out to the shortstop. Her last time at bat hit a little pop fly out to the second baseman, her first time up at bat. She's looking for her first hit of the game here. She's 0 for 2, and the first pitch is high and outside for ball 1. 1-0 on Marquez. Your head coach for Lovington is Stephen McCraw, assisted by Rose Martin, Maggie Payan, and Jeremy DePorto. Second pitch is going to be low, just almost in the dirt. So ball 2, 2-0 on Marquez. You know, you'll get them on base any way you can. Lovington needs base runners, and then they need timely hitting to pull them around. They left bases loaded last time at bat. This one comes in, and that's inside ball number 3, although that's in the territory of the
ones he's called,
yes, the ump has definitely been calling that inside corner, but this one just a little too inside, a little high. This one is going to catch that corner for call strike 1. So 3-1 is your count. Again, Lovington probably, the take sign was probably on at 3-0. But now, if that pitch comes across, you got to swing at it. Because if it's in the zone, and this was good. Oh, not only is it low, but it hits Marcus's foot. And she takes the base. She is hit by pitch. That hurts. So Lovington has a base runner. You hate to get on with a bruise, but you'll take a runner, and that's going to bring up number 13, Angelina Corral, the second baseman for Lovington, up to the plate. She was hit by a pitch her last time at bat, ended up crossing the plate and scoring for Lovington. She walked her first time up at bat and also crossed the plate. So she has yet to hit, though. She is 0-2 with a runner on first. That's Marcus, and Corral at the plate. And swing, cuts, and fouls it back into the screen for strike one. 0-1 on Corral. Four strikes issued now by Sandoval and 1 walk in this game. Almost the same. You've got 5 strikeouts and 2 walks for Vega, Lovington's pitcher. High, in fact, coming up out of her crouch is Espinosa, but she throws down to first to try to get Marcus off the bag. Marcus did have a lead, and she did see that ball might have been high and been a pass ball, but she scrambles back safely. So 1-1 is the count now on Corral. And a fastball comes straight down the middle. Corral is just a little behind it and a little under it and tips it back to the screen for strike 2. 1-2 your count. It's Corral, Marcus still sitting on first. Lovington trailing by 4. They really need to get runners on base, move them around. They don't want to strand runners again like they did the last inning. They had a golden opportunity to tie it up that last inning, and they did not. Here's a well-hit ball. It's a pop fly, though. It's going to drift over, and it's going to go foul. I think if the wind had not picked that up just a little bit and drifted that over, that might have dropped in for a hit. So it was tried to field it. Grajado drifting over on second base, from second base, trying to get that. But it went foul over there by the Lovington dugout. So it remains 1-2 count on Corral. She's in protect the plate mode now. As taking her time is Sandoval, looking at her. And this is well hit, pulled foul, though. It's going to be over into the bullpen area, past the left field fence. So she was way out in front of that. Corral with a really nice hit if she could just straighten that one out. So the count remains 1-2 on her. She was ready for that ball and sent it sailing. Unfortunately, it was foul. So runner still at first. Marcus on first. Corral at the bat. 1-2 count. And this one hits her elbow as Corral doesn't pull away. That ball did break just a little bit, but hit by pitch.
Now to bat, the pitcher, Kaylee Vega.
And that's going to put Corral at first and move Marcus. So 2 straight hit by pitches puts runners at first and second for Lovington with 1 out in this bottom of the 4th inning. And the pitcher, Kaylee Vega, coming up to bat. Vega hit a long fly and scored her first time at bat, hit a double and scored her second time at bat. She is looking to bring runners in, and the first pitch comes in. It's going to be low for ball 1. So 1-0 the count as Espinosa comes up threatening to throw down to first or second, either one. Hangs on to the ball, though. So runners at first and second for Lovington. They trail by 4. And Vega takes a cut at this one, but it's fouled off to the right near the tennis courts. So it becomes strike 1. 1-1 the count on Vega. Vega, again, not just a very capable pitcher, but a good hitter as well. And she's got a golden opportunity here to bring some of her teammates around, maybe in across the plate. And there's a ball that gets, it's called a ball. I thought it might be called a strike, and it gets away. Espinosa just can't find it. Really was right under her, and she stands up. It takes a while. She kind of gets tangled up with the ump, and it moves runners around. So, and then it's called a ball on top of that. So the count is 2-1 on Vega. Now runners at second and third in better scoring position. And this ball comes in, and it's going to be low for ball number 3. So 3-1 the count on Vega. With runners at second and third, only 1 out. Lovington again poised to break things open in this at-bat, and that's exactly what they need to do, being 4 runs down in this one.
Kaylee has a huge hole if she can get it out to left center, as Eragon in center is playing basically in right center.
And Banda in left is playing pretty much traditional in left. Oh, and this is going to come in. It's going to be called on that inside corner, and that evens the count, 3-2. Vega looked at the ump immediately on that when she suspected that that might be a strike, but she didn't offer at it. So 3-2 the count on Vega. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Lovington desperately needing to get runs across the plate, and a swing and a cut and a grounder that goes foul over toward the Roswell dugout. So the count stays full on Vega. Again, with a double and a single in this game so far. I think that that first hit was a single. Is that not right?
It was 2 doubles.
2 doubles, okay. So I have that written down as, actually I didn't write that down. I had it written down as a fly, and I knew it was a hit. But so 2 doubles. She's 2 for 2. Takes a little off of this one, but Vega not completely fooled by it. She gets a piece of it and fouls it back out of play, out behind the press box. So the count remains full. Vega hanging tough at the bat. Needs to straighten one of these out, bring some runs in. Just the 1 out so far here in this bottom of the 4th inning. Lovington running out of time. They need to use this at bat to either get even or go ahead, or at least chip away, put some more runs on the board. Full count on Vega. Standing back up into the box, ready to resume play. This pitch, she hits one. It's a high fly. It's going to kind of blow out harmlessly foul over to the right side of the bleachers. So again, Vega hanging tough. She's fighting off pitches, trying to get her teammates around and in. Runners at second and third. That's Corral at second, Marcus at third. Just the 1 out. Full count on Vega. She's fought off 3 pitches during the full count. So hanging tough, protecting the plate. And this is going to be high and for a walk, and that's going to load them up. So Vega, very patient, and she gets one that she does not, she wisely does not chase. So once again, it's bases loaded for Lovington. They trail by 4, and up is number 11, Delaney Urahara, your designated player. She had an RBI single her first time at bat. She reached on a fielder's choice her second. She comes to the plate. Coach McCraw coming in to have a little word with her before she steps into the box. He gestures out to the base runners as well.
As Reyes goes into courtesy run for Vega over at first.
So bases loaded, and the first pitch is high for ball 1. So Urahara, 1-0 count. As you don't want to help the pitcher in this instance, but you want to take hittable balls and definitely get hits and move runners around. With just 1 out, a double play is possible, and you don't want to hit into that. High for ball 2. As there's a force on any base now. 2-0 the count on Urahara. And now there's a giant hole between center and right field. And this comes in 3 straight balls, this high for ball 3 as the pressure's on Sandoval. And she's feeling it. You got to think that the take sign is on for Urahara on this.
And see, as the cleanup hitter, I would almost think if she feeds a watermelon up there, Coach McCraw has probably told Laney, go ahead and take a rip at it.
We'll see what happens, right? And that one is down the pike for strike 1. So
and you were right.
Sandoval is Sandoval throws the strike when she has to. 3-1 the count now. Urahara, bases loaded, 1 out. Golden opportunity here to bring some more runs in for Lovington. And this is high, and she's going to walk, and that walks a run across. You'll take them how you can get them. And that's exactly, that scores another run. So that's 8-5 now. And only 1 out. Hit one that's either going to go between your fielders or out into the outfield. Try to score some runs. DePorto, first pitch into her is high for ball 1. So 1-0 the count on DePorto.
As Sandoval really struggling as she's thrown 6 of her last 7 pitches have been balls.
This one she brings down, and it's a strike, and kind of a half swing at that. DePorto does not offer all the way, but it's a call strike. So 1-1 as DePorto thought a little bit too long about hitting that one and ended up paying for it. So 1-1 on DePorto, but she's capable of launching balls out of the park. We'll see what she can do. And this is going to be high and outside. Espinosa has to come out of her crouch. And you got to think pass ball in this situation is going to score one. So 2-1 is the count on DePorto. 1 out. The last 2 batters have walked. The 2 batters before it were hit by pitch. And this one comes in high as well. 3-1 as she is definitely struggling. So hitting 2 batters and then walking 2. In fact, walking in the last run. And this one is cut at, and it's going to be a long pop foul going out of play.
Grajeda and Sanchez
They
both given
chased
chase,
it,
but not able to get to it.
No, it was definitely, even before it started coming down from its apex, that one was drifting into foul territory. So it just becomes a long strike, and that's going to bring the count full to DePorto. 1 out, bases loaded. Full count on DePorto. Lovington needs runs. And swing and a cut at this one, a healthy cut. But it was right off the end of her bat, and it ends up getting fouled to the right of the press box. So count remains full on DePorto, 3-2.
And again, she had to take a rip at that one because it was going to be a borderline pitch, and with 2 strikes and only 1 out and runners on every base, you've got to protect the plate. You've got to give yourself a chance to bring at least one of them in.
And she did the right thing. And this one, she cuts a long hit ball. Is it out? It is out. It's a grand slam home run. And this game is now led by Lovington. They have just gone up 9-8 on a grand slam homer by DePorto. That brings in everybody and sweeps off the bases. And they've got 8-8 on the scoreboard, but I'm pretty sure that is 9-8
That is 5
now.
runs that Lovington has put in this inning.
They finally adjusted that and put that one on there. So Lovington has just gone ahead.
And at one point, we're down 6-0, and so now have fought back, scratched back, clawed back, and have taken the lead.
For the first time in this game. And I think are we going to have a pitching change?
I think we're going to have a pitching change. I think Espinosa is going to head over and take over the pitching duties. I think Espinosa and Sandoval are actually going to trade places. So with the pitching change, 1 out, here in the bottom of the 4th inning, a grand slam home run by Siena DePorto has given Lovington the lead. And we will be back. Of course, Lovington Lady Cat Sports, all Lovington sports brought to you proudly by the Lovington Schools. The Lovington Schools, the best district in Lee County, proudly support all athletics and academics for all of the students in Lovington. The Lovington Schools, proud supporters of Wildcat and Lady Cat Sports.
When it comes to your hard-earned money, selecting the right bank is vital. Hi, I'm David Campbell, president of First American Bank in Lovington. First American Bank in Lovington is part of this community. So bank with trusted partners you know, and trusted partners that are part of this area we call home. First American Bank offers all the advantages big corporate banks do, and we do our banking with hometown support and commitment. Choose First American Bank, 19 West Washington in Lovington. We want to earn your trust, then earn your business.
General Welding Supply, Inc., the only locally owned and operated welding supply shop in Lee County. Why is shopping local important? There are many reasons. Shopping local keeps your dollar right here in Lee County. The staff at General Welding Supply shops the same stores you do. How about support? General Welding Supply supports local by sponsoring schools and youth sports. Shop General Welding Supply in Hobbs and Lovington. General Welding Supply, a proud supporter of Lovington sports. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called SmartUp. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
It's no secret, at some point you'll have a question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle's new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that helps keep your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington, your Napa Auto Store.
Back here at Lady Wildcat Field, as the Lady Cats have taken the lead on a grand slam home run by Sienna DePorto. Final line for Sandoval, who takes over as the catcher. She goes 4 1/3 innings, or rather 3 1/3 innings, and gives up 9 runs, all 9 of them earned.
And she goes down having struck out 4, walked 3, and hit 3 batters. And the first pitch coming into Chavarria is going to be a call strike 1, as Espinosa bringing the heat on her very first pitch. Chavarria, Annalise Chavarria playing left field for Lovington. Second pitch comes in again. This is going to be a little low for ball 1, so 1-1 the count on Chavarria. Just 1 out, as bases have been cleaned off after that grand slam homer. What a beautifully hit ball, really kind of more of a line drive over the left center field fence. And Chavarria hits one right back to Espinosa. Espinosa, it knocks it down, has a little trouble, bobbles it, but then picks it up and throws it in time. In time to get Chavarria out at first. So 1-3, out number 2, and that brings up number 9, Jocelyn O'Keene, the first baseman for Lovington, to bat. She walked her last time up, struck her first time up, so she is 0 for 2. Right-handed batter steps up to the plate. Still just 2 outs for Lovington. There's time for them to continue their surge ahead of Roswell. First pitch comes in low and inside, but it clips the corner for strike number 1. So O'Keene with an 0-1 count. And Espinosa hitting that little sweet spot that Sandoval mined for a lot of strikes and some strikeouts. She tries for one just like it. This one too low, hits the dirt. In fact, I thought that it might have hit O'Keene, but it didn't. So it's ball 1. 1-1 the count on O'Keene as Lovington 9-8. They've gone ahead by 1, and they'd like to make it, get some insurance runs, and make that bigger lead for themselves here in this bottom of the 4th. And a nice crack over to third base, a shot that Gonzalez knocks down, then has to pick up, but throws in time for the 3rd out as O'Keene gets thrown out at first, and that ends their at-bat. So we're going to go to the top of the 5th inning. Lovington 9, Roswell 8, and we'll be back with more Lovington Wildcat Softball on No Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports.
We're the pharmacy that you've trusted for over 75 years. Being open for that length of time can only happen with consistency, service, and local engagement. Now Pharmacy has supported the local youth in City of Lovington for over 75 years. When you need a pharmacist, you can trust that Now Pharmacy will be there for your needs. Go by Now Pharmacy, located at 122 West Adams in Lovington today. Now Pharmacy, a proud supporter of the Lovington Wildcats.
Looking for tubing testing and scanning in the Permian Basin? Call Empire Services. Empire's been in business since 2012 and has maintained the professional and dependable service company for tubing testing and scanning. Empire Services, a proud supporter of all Lovington High School athletics. The team at Empire Services wishes the Cat athletes the best of luck this season. Don't forget, if you're in need of tubing testing and scanning, call Empire Services at 575-318-6465, 318-6465.
In the 4th inning, Lovington gets 5 runs on just 1 hit, and yes, it was a grand slam home run. No errors and nobody left on base, no errors. All 5 of the runs were earned.
And it's interesting, as those 2 of the people who crossed the plate for Lovington got hit by pitch. 2 of them were walked. And then the grand slam out of the park homer by DePorto was amazing. So that was definitely exactly what Lovington needed. Now Roswell comes up to the plate, and it's near the bottom of the order. 8, 9, and 1 up for them as number 7, Leah Sanchez, steps up to the plate. She's your first baseman, hits from the left side of the box, and the first ball comes in as a ball. 1-0, the count on Sanchez. Roswell now trailing by 1, and there's a hit, but it's a foul off to the left.
Almost hits Lucero in the on-deck circle.
Right, Lucero is on deck, and then Espinosa, top of the order, is in the hole. 1-1 the count on Sanchez now. She was behind that heater from Vega. And another fastball up just a little bit high, but swing and a miss by Sanchez. She really wanted that one. She cut at it, swing and a miss for strike 2. Nice heat by Vega, though. The ball it was a bit of a riser. Came in. This one is, again, a nice ball hit to shortstop, fielded by Hernandez, over to first, thrown out, and that is out number 1. So far, Lovington starting off very efficiently in this top of the 5th inning, as they are 1 run ahead of Roswell, and they need to get out of this inning as quickly as they can. They can't afford to let Roswell get on base and get back in this one. They really need to get back into the dugout and get some insurance runs, as we are here in the top of the 5th inning. And Jasmine Lucero, the right fielder, up for Roswell. She struck out her last time at bat, takes a cut at the first pitch, and fouls it back to the right, out of play beyond the press box to our right. She hit a 2 RBI single her first time up at bat, though, so she's capable of hitting, but Vega shut her down the last time. So Lucero wants to get a little revenge in this at-bat. So 0-1 the count on her. And a fastball comes in, swung on, and again fouled off to the right, out of play, off toward the tennis courts. 0-2 the count on Lucero now. Lucero, right fielder for Roswell. The wind picking up just a little bit. It's gusty. Our clouds are moving in just a little bit around. Oh, and there's a nicely hit ball. Looks like it's going to fall between left and center. Yes, nothing anybody could do. Marquez and Annalise Averia both giving chase, but they do a nice job of fielding that and keeping Lucero to a single. So that's a single that puts Lucero on first. And with 1 out, that is going to bring up Talisa Espinosa, top of the lineup again for Roswell, and she shows bunt, drops her bat down, and Vega with the pitch. It's outside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count, with Lucero sitting over there on first. And 1 out in this one. The second pitch comes in. It's high and outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count on Espinosa, as she definitely is one of those left-handed batters who does the slap drag hit from that left side. And there she does a little slap shot. It goes to shortstop. Hernandez picks it up, fields it, and cuts off the lead runner. So she gets Lucero thrown out at second. And that means Espinosa reaches on the fielder's choice. So Espinosa is on first. 2 outs now, though.
So really what you do is just exchange the runners at first.
You do. 6-4 with 1 out. But it does hold on the runner at first instead of putting a runner in scoring position at second. And fastball comes in, hits the outside corner. A nice heater by Vega for strike 1 on Mireya Grajada, the second baseman for Roswell. She popped out to the shortstop her last time at bat. She hit an infield single her first and second time at bat. Had little bloop infield hits to reach and score. Second ball comes in, and it is a ball. 1-1 on Grajada. With a runner on first, that's Espinosa. 2 outs. Oh, yes, it does. I was about to say it's just going to miss if he doesn't call that. But it looked like a strike, and it was a call strike, too.
DePorto framed it up nicely.
Well, I think it really did. I think it was on the edge of the zone. I think it did hit the corner. And this is going to be low over the outside corner, too low for a strike. So it's ball 2, 2-2. The count, 2 outs, 1 runner on first. And Roswell trailing Lovington by 1 run. 9-8 is your score. And the fastball comes in, hits straight up the middle. And Marquez picks it up in center field, throws it in, and it's going to be another single. So a well-hit grounder right up the middle puts Grajada on first, Espinosa on second, 2 outs. And that brings up number 11, Sarai Morales, the shortstop, up to bat. She hit a grounder to first base and was thrown out her last time at bat, but she's hit a double and a single in this game and scored 2 runs, so she's 2 of 3. First pitch swung on, fouled back over our heads for strike number 1, so 0-1 the count on Morales. Runners on first and second for Roswell. 9-8 your score. We're here in the top of the 5th inning. The first game of a doubleheader in Lovington. This pitch low and inside for ball 1.
And
1
the
and
Lovington
1.
faithful going, you're calling it when they throw it. What's different about that? I guess maybe that one just a little too far inside.
It was just a little too low and a little too far inside for a strike, but close. And this one swung on, hit a little grounder right over to Corral. She throws it over to first for the 3rd out. So 4-3 in your scorebook for the 3rd out, and that is going to take care of Roswell. So no runs score in this one. We're still at 9-8, Lovington leading. We're back with the bottom of the 5th coming up after more Lovington softball, brought to you by Walmart Broadcasting and One Radio Square Sports.
Attention shoppers, Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Devon Energy is proud to support the athletic programs of Lovington High School this season. By partnering with local schools in Lovington, Devon is making an investment in the long-term future of the community. Sports teach discipline, teamwork, and leadership. Skills our youth will use to succeed for a lifetime. From the Devon team to yours, Devon Energy wishes you good luck this season, both on the field and in the classroom. Go Wildcats!
Back here at Wildcat Field in the top of the 5th inning, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on for the Lady Coyotes of Roswell High. We head to the bottom of the 5th, Lovington leading 9-8. And with the call, Dawn Morgan.
Well, it has been a good game in that it's been a little bit of a tense start for Lovington. They got down early in this one, but they managed to piece together some runs. They scored 2 in the first inning, another 2 in the 3rd inning, and then they broke it open and scored 5 in the 4th, in the bottom of the 4th. And now in the bottom of the 5th, coming up to bat first for Lovington will be number 16, Aaliyah Chavarria, your 3rd baseman. She struck out her last time at bat, and she grounded out to the shortstop her first time at bat. So she's 0 for 2, looking for a hit, looking to get on base, and Lovington needs insurance runs as this is the bottom of the 5th, and they want to make sure they stay ahead of Roswell. First pitch comes in, and it's going to be high and outside for ball number 1. As pitching now for Roswell is the Espinosa, who was the catcher for the first part of this game. She and Sandoval swapped places, changed positions. Oh, and a high ball comes in, and Chavarria just couldn't resist it. Takes a cut, swings well under it. 1-1 is the count now.
And that's one thing about Chavarria is she can really give them a ride, but she does tend to go for them up around the eyeballs. That's what she struck out on last time up.
And this one she slaps and sends a long fly out to center field, but drifting over to her right is Aragon, and fields that for out number 1. But Chavarria did give it a ride. A nice try, but ends up with a fly out to the center fielder for out
And
number
now
1.
batting for the Wildcats, Honey Morales.
And coming in and having a substitute, and the umpire is talking with Coach McGraw right now, writing it in his book. So number 4, Honey Morales, is going to go in for the shortstop, Aaliyah Hernandez, and bat in her place as well. So Honey Morales coming up to the plate, her first at bat this game. So Morales steps up with 1 out. Lovington really looking to get some insurance runs on. So Honey Morales looking to just get on base any way she can. And the first pitch has come in. Oh, she swats that one and sends it a long fly ball, but it goes out over. It's over on the left, out of play. But a nice swing and a cut. And when she hit that one, I didn't think that ball was going to go that far. It's a deceptive short swing, but it had a lot of power in it. Just becomes strike 1. So 0-1 on Morales. And a fastball comes in. She swings. It's going to be a grounder to shortstop. Not going to be in time. The throw is high, but, oh, no, and she gets caught off base. She dives for it before the tag by Sanchez and makes it in safely. It looked like that ball was overthrown, but Sanchez was able to get that. And Morales thought she might be able to take second base, but she ends up sliding back in safely. So,
yeah, really turned the wrong way, and nobody was expecting Sanchez to get that as quickly as she did. I had already started moving Morales around to second on the error, but, you know, she had to dive back as she took the long turn to get to it.
It really was knocking it down was Morales, and she really, even if that throw had been in time, had been low and on target, it would not have been in time. A throw down to second base, and we're looking for the ump. Oh,
he called safe initially.
Called her out. She's standing. Morales is still standing there as Coach McGraw wants to talk about it.
Well, and initially the umpire at second did call her safe. So
and Honey Morales is going back on second base because McCraw I believe he is appealing that call and going over to talk to him about it, because McCraw had a very good view. He's standing in the third coach spot. Now the ump who was standing out there making the call is coming in to confer with the home base ump, with the behind the plate ump. So they're going to get their heads together. McCraw appealing that call, so Morales standing exactly where she wants to be, which is on second, as that throw down was a good one by Sandoval. And actually Morales slid into the ball. I think the ball and the base runner got there at the same time, and the tie goes to the runner. So we'll have to see what the umps decide on that.
Good tag from, I don't recall if it was Morales or ahead of the shortstop or the second baseman, but whichever one of them it was, put the tag on quickly, and yeah, they are going to go ahead and confer and call her out.
So
Morales it'll be 2-4.
Morales is out on that throw. So from a good throw again from Sandoval, 2-4. Morales, even with her speed, ends up getting called out. So, and in the meantime, at the bat, we have, and there's a long ball that's hit by Marquez. It's out of the park. That is a solo home run by Avery Marquez as she comes around, touching third, going for home, and she's going to make it 10-8. Lovington leading Roswell in this bottom of the 5th inning. So a nice out-of-the-park homer. That's just about where DePorto hit her grand slam homer, out there just between left and center. And a beautiful ball as
they don't call them the left center and right center field power alleys for nothing.
Exactly.
So now Angelina Corral.
Angelina Corral, your second baseman for Lovington, coming up to the plate. And it hits her. She put her bat up, and I think it cracked. I don't know if it hit her elbow or her hand.
This is the third time she's been
That's
hit
right.
by a pitch
she
in this
has been
game.
Hit by pitch. She does.
And now up
She
to bat,
she
the
does
pitcher, Kaylee
crowd the
Vega.
plate a lot. She stands up really
And
close in
Sandoval
the front of that,
actually
so.
saying that to the umpire, like,
Yeah.
hey, she's crowding the plate. She didn't attempt to move.
And she does. She kind of hangs over the plate just a little bit. So she's out on first. 2 outs in this one. Number 1, your pitcher, Kaylee Vega, up to the plate with Corral on first base. Corral is, of course, she's capable of taking one for the team. She's taken 3 today. Walked her first time up at bat. And the heat comes in, and Kaylee Vega is sitting and waiting on it, only she's way in front of it. She slaps a hot one down the third base line. It goes foul. But, wow, what a nicely, sharply hit ball. Just becomes a long strike. So 1-1 is your count on Vega, with Corral standing on first base after being hit by a pitch. Third time she's been hit, and that's the 4th hit by pitch in this game. So 1 run across in this at bat already. Oh, and there's a low inside ball number 2. 2-1 is your count on Vega. As Corral standing out on first. And Vega has hit 2 doubles and walked. She walked her last time up and scored a run for Lovington. She's 2 for 3. And this comes in low and inside in the dirt. Oh, and scrambling back in time is Corral, as Corral thought that it was going to get by Sandoval, but she knocked it down and made the throw to first. But
Corral was in no woman's land, and that's one of them. Do I go this way and hope they throw to first, or do I keep going to second?
She scrambled. She was closer to first, so she turned back to first and scrambled back in time. Your count is 3-1 now, and now 3-2 as Vega takes a swing at that one and fouls it, spoils it off to the left near the Roswell dugout. So your count is full on Vega.
And that's one of them you would have thought might have been ball 4, but he has been calling that inside corner very tight. So
I think that's a good move to go ahead and try to hit it if you can, because it may be called a strike if not. And this one's going to come in too low and inside. So Vega takes her 2nd walk in a row. And that moves Corral over to second after being hit by a pitch.
Now batting for the Wildcats, Delaney.
as Reyes will check in as the courtesy runner again for Vega.
And brings up number 11, Delaney Udahara, your designated player, to the plate. She had an RBI single her first time up, got on the fielder's choice her 2nd at bat, and then walked her last time and scored a run for Lovington. So she is actually 1 for 3. Runners on first and second. Lovington up by 2, 10-8 in this bottom of the 5th inning, and that's going to come in just a little low and inside for ball number 1. So 1-0 on Udahara. Lovington looking to get even more insurance runs in this at bat if they can extend this. If they can extend this at bat and get a few more runs. Oh, and there's a changeup. It crosses the plate for strike number 1. Not a popular call, as Lovington faithful did not like that. The ump turns around and says, well,
looks like it was right at the knees from our vantage point from the man in blue. So
1-1 your count on Udahara. Runners on first and second, and this fastball comes in, and it's going to be just a little low, I guess. That's 2-1. So 2-1 the count. Don't know if he was just trying to make up for that last call. I don't know. That one looked like it was right on the line. So 2-1 your count. And there's another hit by pitch, as that was inside and hit Udahara on the left leg. So she's going to take her base, and now that loads them. So your 5th hit by pitch in
now
this game. And that's going to bring up the giant killer. Sienna DePorto hit a grand slam homer her last at bat, and she's got bases loaded again. So 2 outs, bases loaded. DePorto coming up.
And trying to switch this around. It was a 6-0 Roswell lead, and if, we don't want to say it would happen again, it would make it a 6-run Lovington lead. But you just want a few more runs, so a single, a walk, whatever.
You don't want to strand all those. And there's a nice hit ball again out to, this time it's caught though. She gave it a ride to Porto, hit a nice long fly. Drifting over from left field is Banda towards center, picking that off. So a long fly out. And that ends the at-bat for Lovington. We're going to go to the top of the 6th inning. Lovington up by 2, 10-8 your score. Back with Lovington Wildcats softball on the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports.
When it comes to your hard-earned money, selecting the right bank is vital. Hi, I'm David Campbell, president of First American Bank in Lovington. First American Bank in Lovington is part of this community. So bank with trusted partners you know, and trusted partners that are part of this area we call home. First American Bank offers all the advantages big corporate banks do, and we do our banking with hometown support and commitment. Choose First American Bank, 19 West Washington in Lovington. We want to earn your trust, then earn your business.
General Welding Supply, Inc., the only locally owned and operated welding supply shop in Lee County. Why is shopping local important? There are many reasons. Shopping local keeps your dollar right here in Lee County. The staff at General Welding Supply shops the same stores you do. How about support? General Welding Supply supports local by sponsoring schools and youth sports. Shop General Welding Supply in Hobbs and Lovington. General Welding Supply, a proud supporter of Lovington sports. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Back here at Lady Cat Field, the Lady Cats get a run on a couple of hits, no errors, and 3 runners left stranded, but they lead now 10-8 as we head to the 6th. I'm TJ Miracle, and with the call, Dawn Morgan.
And Lovington, although they strand 2, they do manage to get a couple of runs, or they get a run out of it, and that puts them 2 runs up. So they have a bit of insurance as they face Roswell in the top of the 6th inning. It's going to be Clarice Banda, your left fielder, up first for Roswell. It's Victoria Sandoval, the catcher now, on the deck, and Gonzalez in the hole. First pitch is in, and it's a strike. So 0-1 the count on Banda as Vega bringing the heat. She's had 5 strikeouts in this game, walked 2. She took a little bit off of that, but it was a little high and outside. Still a good pitch, just a little off speed, and she did not get Banda to chase. Brings the heat right over the plate this time, and I'm not sure why that missed. It looked like it was in the zone. It looked like it was over the plate, but it's called a ball. So 2-1. I think it surprised some of the Lovington faithful, and this one a cut and a foul back to the screen becomes strike 2. 2-2 on Banda. She has struck out twice, and she hit an RBI ground out. So she is 0 for 3 and probably hungry for a hit. Lovington wanting to get out of this as quickly as they can, and that is going to be just a bit outside for 3-2. Brings the count full on Banda. She's the first batter up, so no outs. Lovington leads by 2. They can't afford to let Roswell back into this one. And there's a swing and a miss as in plate protection mode, Banda spoils one back, fouled past the press box to our right. As Banda looking to get on base, Lovington wants to keep Roswell from getting on base. And that's low for ball 4. Only the 3rd walk issued by Vega in this game. And it puts Banda on first, brings Sandoval up. Sandoval started off pitching, now has moved to catching. And she has a single, a walk, and a ground out. So she is 1 for 3 in this game. First pitch, a slap. It's a high ball. She slaps it, and it's going to be popped foul back into the Lovington stands for strike number 1. So a good pitch by Vega. You know, it'd be nice if she could get Sandoval to hit into a double play maybe. Take care of the base runner, get a couple of outs, and move pretty efficiently toward getting Roswell back in the dugout, or back out on the field while Lovington gets into the dugout. 0-1 your count, 10-8, a 2-run lead by Lovington. Ooh, a swing and a hard hit line drive out between left and center, goes to the wall. And going back for it is Marcus. She's going to throw in, hit her cutoff person, which is shortstop, but that's going to move a runner around. Bonda goes all the way to third on that. It's going to be a stand-up double for Sandoval. So a double puts runners in scoring position, and the potential go-ahead run for Roswell now is standing at the plate. Raquel Gonzalez, your third baseman, coming up to bat. She hit a double and got stranded on second her last time at bat. She also walked and hit a 2 RBI line drive in the first inning and scored a run as well. So she's 2 for 3 today.
2 for 2.
2 for
the walks of the plate appearance.
That's right, plate appearance. So yeah, my bad. 2 for 2. And a swing and a miss as Vega took a little off that, and nice pitch. So 0-2, your count on Gonzalez with runners on second and third now. After that long line drive by Sandoval. This one is fouled back over our heads. So count remains 0-2 on Gonzalez. Lovington really needing to get outs here. They don't want to let Roswell tie this or go ahead of them at this at-bat. And a swing and a hit as protecting the plate. Gonzalez reached for that one outside and fouled it off the end of her bat over out of play to our right. So count remains 0-2. Gonzalez very capable of hitting the long ball, though, as she's done a couple of times today. No outs, runners on second and third. And this one is a well-hit ball, but it's going to go right to Chloe Corral, and she picks it up and then throws it in. It's bobbled, but your shortstop, Hernandez, picks it up and keeps an eye on the runner at third. Bonda stays at third. Sandoval stays at second, and it's 1 out now. That was a nice line drive and a good ball that Chloe Corral fielded for out number 1.
And Corral got that in and quickly. If that one is a kind of a lazy fly or a little bit deeper, it scores Bonda.
Yeah, it would have. But it was a line drive, and a first cut by Aragon at that one sends it back to the screen for strike 1. 0-1 on Aragon. 1 out now. Runners still at second and third. Lovington 2 runs ahead of Roswell. The potential go-ahead run at the plate right now in the form of Aragon. Aragon, 1 of 3 today. She had an RBI single her first time at bat, and that's high and outside for ball 1, 1-1 on Aragon as the wind picks up just a little bit and blows some dirt around the infield.
And the press box.
Yes.
Got a nice coating of dirt on our score bug here.
Oh, and high. And DePorto comes up to get that one to keep it from going back. So 2-1 is your count. 2-1 now on Aragon. 1 out. Runners on second and third. Lovington, if it's hit anywhere in the infield, Lovington more than likely going to try to cut off the runner at third if she goes. If not, oh, and that's a strike. Yes, finally. I didn't see anything wrong with that, so I was hoping and thinking he was going to be calling it a strike, and it does even up the count. 2-2. That was right over the plate, right in the center of the zone. And a fastball is popped up, but the wind's gonna blow it out of play to the right. Gonna end up rolling over toward the tennis court. So it's just remains 2-2 your count. There's a lot of dirt and dust in the air. Gusty winds coming in. I have a feeling the clouds, we can't see behind us, and that's probably where clouds are blowing in from the north and the northwest. It is getting a little darker. The lights have yet to come on the field. This is the first of a doubleheader. And this pitch is fouled off behind this to the screen, that is. Count remains 2-2 as Aragon in plate protection mode, knowing that anything that looks like it might touch the corners needs to be swung on.
According to the radar, we do have some storms coming up from the west and coming this way.
So we certainly want to get this one done. And this one is going to be a grounder hit to second base, thrown over from Corral to Olguin for out number 2, but it does bring a runner in as Banda crosses the plate, and that reduces Lovington's lead. It's now 11-9, and that means that we've got Leah Sanchez coming up to the plate. So a little sacrifice from 4 to 3 for the second out, and bringing up Sanchez. She swings and misses for strike number 1.
I think it's just 10-9. That's
Is
what I
it 10-9? Yeah. That's okay. Okay. I looked up and I saw 11-9. I thought, well, before I can go back and count, I'll see.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I had messed up on a score, so.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch as Sanchez whiffing on that one. Nice pitch by Vega. Sanchez, a left-handed batter, and her bat was way too short to be able to hit that one. 0-2. And she swings and gets a piece of that one, fouls it back to the screen. Count remains 0-2. So it is 10-9 as Lovington now just a 1-run lead. 2 outs, top of the 6th inning, runner on third, and the count is 0-2 on Sanchez, your batter. So here's a swing and a foul tip off the end of the bat, spoiling that one and just barely getting a piece. I thought it was going to be a swing and a miss, but just on the tip of her bat, the end of the bat, she caught that one. 0-2 as Vega trying very hard to get this third out and get out from under the threat of another score by Roswell. Swing, and this one is going to go to third base. Oh, and it's bobbled by Chavarria, and it's going to score a run, and that ties it up. The tying run in on an error by the third baseman. She knocked it down, but she was trying to throw it before she had it in her, before she had possession of it, and instead an E5 sends Sanchez to first and brings in Sandoval. So now we are all tied at 10, and that brings Lucero up to the plate. And Lucero hit a single her last time at bat, got stranded. She struck out and then hit a 2 RBI single her first time at bat. So she is 2 for 3 in this one. 2 outs, a runner on first. We're tied in the top of the 6th. First pitch comes in, swung on, caught a piece of it. Fouled back to the screen for strike 1. So Vega, I think, very frustrated because she had an 0-2 count on Sanchez. Sanchez hung tough, fouled off 2 or 3, and then finally reached on an error. It's going to be outside for ball 1, so it evens up the count 1-1. As Vega was trying to get Lucero to chase, and Lucero has chased. She struck out her last time at bat, or her second time at bat. 1-1 the count. A runner on first, and a fastball in the dirt. DePorto blocks it out, knocks it down. 2-1 the count. As Lovington needs to shut it down right here. Get out of this without any more runs across, and get in the dugout and try to break this tie. 10-all in the top of the 6th inning. And the heater comes in, and Lucero takes a swing at it. She's behind it, though, and fouls it off to the right toward the tennis court. That's going to be strike 2, evens up the count, 2-2. 2 outs, 2 strikes. We're 1 strike away from getting out of this inning, or this at-bat, getting to the bottom of the 6th. Vega with the pitch, and it's going to be low and inside. It's going to get behind DePorto, and it's going to get send Sanchez to second base on the pass ball. So a 3-2 count now. Count is full on Lucero. Sanchez on second base in scoring position for Roswell. And the pitch low and inside, and a walk. That's the 4th walk that Vega has issued, and it puts runners on first and second now. But there are 2 outs. So Lovington, if they can just get this batter, get this out, and get out of this, then they'll be out of trouble. But the damage is done because they are all tied up, and Coach McCraw is going to the mound. Is it going to be a pitching change?
I think they're just going to have a visit.
I think he's just doing a pep talk. Well, we'll see.
And
he's calling for a new ball.
And just a quick reminder, after tonight, the Lady Cats will have 8 days off before they open next Saturday in Roswell, the district schedule against Goddard. Of course, we'll have that for you right here on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and the Lovington tab at hobbsamerica.com. You'll be heading over to the, I believe they call it the launch pad there across the street from Goddard for that doubleheader next Saturday dawn. And that will be the district opener 1 week from tomorrow.
All right, looking forward to that. That will be Memorial Day weekend, actually. So we will be watching a little softball, some playing some softball. I think there will be baseball for some Lee County teams that day as well. That Friday and Saturday will be full of sports.
We'll have, I know, Lovington baseball that day as well.
So runners on first and second, 2 outs. Espinosa up to the plate. Top of the lineup for Roswell. First ball comes in high. Ball 1, 1-0. After the pep talk by Coach McCraw, I'm sure he was telling him, settle down. Just 1 more out. Just get this out. Don't worry about anything else. 1 out. Get it. And there's a long ball hit out. It's going to go foul. That was a long, well-hit ball and deep. It looked like it was going into right field. The wind kind of pulled it over to the right. So it just becomes a long strike. 1-1, your count. Again, all Lovington needs to do is get this out and not allow any more runs across the plate. We're tied at 10 in the top of the 6th. This has been an exciting one. And this is sharply hit. It's going to, knocked down, but nothing Hernandez can do with it. She does throw home, but it is going to score. It scores 1 and moves runners to second and third. So Roswell has gone ahead of Lovington on a ball that was knocked down. I really don't think that it looked like that ball was going to go between short and third, but it ended up Hernandez knocked it down, but there wasn't time enough to do anything with it. Then she threw a high ball into home.
As it will be scored as a single.
Yeah, it's a single because really there was no time. That even if that ball had been on target, if that throw had been on target, it was too late to be able to stop that run from getting in. So runners on second and third now with Grajada up at the plate. She's going to hit one that's going to fall in front of Marquez in center field and score another run. Aragon crosses the plate. And now Roswell going 2 ahead of Lovington. 2 out still in this one. It's very frustrating for Lovington because they've just been 1 out away and watched 3 runs cross the plate.
4.
4 runs cross. Well, with 2 outs
right.
though. With 2 outs, they've watched 4 runs get in, and now runners at first and third.
And this is the second time in the game that Roswell has batted around, as Morales is the 9th hitter of the inning to come to the plate.
And Grajada with that single out to center. Now there's a little slow hit. A slow hit ball and a throwing error by Hernandez. Gets by Olguin, and it is going to put Morales at second. And it's going to score Lucero. So another run crossing the plate for Roswell, and that's going to send Grajada over to third. Morales is on second.
2 errors this inning have been very costly.
And throwing errors, as Hernandez did a nice job fielding the ball, but then took Olguin off of the plate. Still 2 outs, and the first pitch comes in, and it's a heater for strike 1. As Banda back up to the plate. 0-1 the count on her, and swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2. We've been here before as well. 2 strikes on a batter with 2 outs. We were here before Roswell managed to get runs across in this one. 4 runs across in this inning, and there's a low It's a strike, 1-2. It's a ball, 1-2. The ump said it was low. 1-2 on Bonda. Walked her last time up, across the plate. Oh, and a call. No. He says it's low. Wow.
And
okay.
he's kind of taunting some of the fans because he was going to ring her up, and then he pushed it low.
Exactly. It looked like he might call it a strike. We were waiting breathlessly for it up here. Instead, it evens the count, 2-2. And this one, a swing and a miss. Strikeout finally. Lovington out of this inning, bottom of the 6th. But the damage is done as Roswell puts together 4 runs, goes ahead. 13-10 is your score. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Lovington trailing by 3, and we'll be back with more Lovington Wildcats softball on Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called SmartHub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the SmartHub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcacnet.com and look for the SmartHub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with SmartHub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
It's no secret, at some point you'll have a question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle's new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that helps keep your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington, your Napa Auto Store.
As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, a bad inning for the Lady Cats as the Lady Coyotes put 5 on the board and bat around. So Lovington now trailing by 3, 13-10. Back to it with the call, Dawn Morgan.
Lovington with some work to do as they come up to the plate, although they are capable of putting that many runs across the plate in one at bat. They've done it before. They've done it in this game, and they can certainly do it again.
Of course, Lovington Lady Cat Sports proudly brought to you by our friends at the Lovington Schools. Our mobile tablet has apparently eaten my Lovington School spot, but we appreciate them making Lovington athletics possible, also for granting us the video and audio rights to Walmart Digital. So to the bottom of the 6th we go.
Coming up to bat for Lovington, it is going to be Annalie Chavarria, your left fielder. She takes a cut at the first one. It's fouled back and almost comes into the window, the right window of our press box up here. Stops just short. So strike number 1. And this one comes in high and outside for ball 1. 1-1 on Annalie Chavarria. It is 13-10. Lovington is trailing Roswell by 3 runs. They've got to get those back, got to start putting runners on base right now. That third pitch comes in, and it's high for ball 2. 2-1 is your count on Chavarria. Chavarria grounded out her last time at bat, 2 strikeouts. She's 0 for 3 in this one. She's hungry. Oh, and she swings at a high ball. That would have been ball 3, but she took a cut at a fast riser, and 2-2 is your count now on Chavarria. Lovington can't afford any wasted batters. They've got to be efficient, got to get on, get around, and get those runs back. They're running out of time. And a changeup comes high and outside to bring the count to full. 3-2 on Chavarria. Lovington needs base runners, and they need timely hitting. Trailing by 3 here in this bottom of the 6th inning. And taking a cut at it in plate protection mode, Chavarria spoils one back high and above the back behind the press box. So count remains full as Olguin waits on deck, and Aaliyah Chavarria is in the hole. Lovington trailing by 3. This pitch is hit, a high fly, and it's going to, oh, does she hang on to it? Drifting back from shortstop. She had it, but she dropped it. She picked it up. She threw it towards second base, and the throw not on target and not in time. So Chavarria gives it a ride, and it dropped in. So she's on base and hits a double.
Yeah, and Morales just not able to hang on to it from the shortstop position as that one hung up in the wind, and nobody could get to it. And now up and checking on Chavarria, who slid in very hard and had a collision with Grajeda over at second.
Holding her head. Chavarria was kind of holding her head. Now she's taking her helmet off. And Coach McCraw out there. And I think maybe one of the, I don't know who else that is.
I believe that's Coach DePorto and the trainer going out too.
Right, just to try to check and make sure that anytime that there's a hit to the head, you've got to be very careful and follow certain protocols. So they're going to check with her and make sure that she's okay.
Yep, she's tough. Looks like she'll
she puts her helmet back on, going back to second base. Healthy round of applause. So she's out on second. Chavarria, after hitting a long fly,
and now batting for the Lovington
out to
Wildcats,
center field,
Olguin.
bringing number 9, Olguin, the first baseman for Lovington, to bat. She grounded out her last time, walked her second time, struck out her first time, so she is 0 for 3 and hungry as Lovington needs runs across the plate. They trail by 3. Fastball is a call strike number 1, 0-1. Olguin not going to see very many balls better to hit than that one. And Lovington has got to put runs on the board here in this bottom of the 6th inning. They're running out of time. Oh, and this one, she took a lot off of that. Espinosa throwing a bit of a change-up, and Olguin was in front of it. Swing and foul tips it back for strike number 2. So she is definitely going to be at 0-2 and protect the plate mode. She's got a runner out there in scoring position. Chavarria sitting on second. No outs. And this one swing and a miss as Espinosa brought a little more heat, and Olguin just a little behind that. So strikeout becomes out number 1. Number 16, Aaliyah Chavarria, third baseman for Lovington at bat now. She also is 0 for 3 this afternoon. She had a long fly out to center field. Her last time at bat, struck out and grounded out her first time up, so she's 0 for 3 and hungry as well. Still a runner out on second base scoring position. She sends this one out, a line drive shot into shallow left field, and hanging up. She takes a while to throw into her cutoff person, the shortstop, and I thought, and it looked like Chavarria might take off from third base, but that's a nice line drive single for Chavarria. She sits on first, Chavarria on third, and that brings up Hernandez, shortstop for Lovington.
As she's being inserted back into the ball game. Of course, she was pulled out for Honey Morales to pinch hit for, but in softball, you can substitute players back into the game.
I think as long as you don't, can you do that even if you go out and you play in that position?
I believe you can.
Okay, I know that there at times.
But Hernandez never came out
defensively.
defensively.
Never came out defensively. That's what I'm talking about. Is if you bat, but then you don't actually go out and field in that position. But at any rate, she is coming back out.
Between baseball and softball, because in baseball you get
you take out and you're out.
You're out.
You can't go back into that position and play. You can't go back in the game and play. But it is different, and the rules have changed, frankly, over the years, over the decades in softball in this instance as well. Hernandez coming up to the plate, watches the first one. It's going to be low for ball number 1, and expecting the runner to try to come home and force him into a squeeze play. Sandoval stands up and throws to Morales, the shortstop, who comes in, but nobody nobody bites as runners for Lovington stay at first and third. Chavarria and Ali on third, Aaliyah on first, and Hernandez with a 1-0 count at the plate. Lovington needing to get 3 runs to tie it up, 4 to go ahead. And the ball comes in high for ball 2. 2-0 the count on Hernandez, who I think is just going to make Espinosa pitch to her, put him in there as strikes. Hernandez has a shorter, a smaller strike zone. She is a quick runner and fielder. And this one's going to come in low and inside. The throw out to second base. There's an attempted tag. There's no call on whether she was safe. She was out at second. Then the throw comes into the plate, not in time. So Chavarria comes in from third, but Aaliyah Chavarria is thrown out at second with the 2 to 6. I couldn't remember if it was the second baseman or the shortstop who came across to take the throw. And that brings up and Hernandez still at the bat. So 2-0 your count. And that's low at 3-0 the count. That's low and inside for ball 4 as Hernandez takes a base. And now Lovington has cut the lead down. It's 13-11 your score. Roswell ahead by 2. 1 out, or 2 outs now. And top of the order comes up for Lovington, Avery Marquez, your center fielder. And Coach McCraw wants to have a bit of a talk, and actually Roswell's coach coming out to talk to the ump as well.
Yeah, I think they have a question as to the – we're in a lightning delay.
Okay. All right, okay. Thank you.
All right.
I missed that completely.
We were working on the books.
Yeah, we were working on catching our books up and worrying about what's about to happen. And so there's been lightning within, what is a 5-mile or 10-mile radius?
I believe it's 10 miles.
10-mile radius. And that's an automatic, is it 20 or 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
30-minute automatic, 30-minute delay of game. Here we are in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 outs and 1 runner on for Lovington. And we will take a weather break, a 30-minute break. And we'll see. I believe it's mandatory evacuation. I think everybody has to leave the stands.
I think we can stay here in the booth.
In the press booth, we're okay because we're inside.
Right, but the storm is coming up just to the west of Lovington, going up towards Tatum and Caprock, but there is some red and yellow being in that, and so the lightning coming out of the yellow and the red. I'm sitting here looking at the radar right now, and so we are in a lightning delay. So I think we'll go ahead and take the time out.
All right.
And
there's nothing we can do about this. I mean, and we're starting to get a few sprinkles drifting into us as well.
So I think we better slide the windows closed and protect the video
protect the
equipment
and protect ourselves. And we'll be back as soon as we can with Lovington Wildcats softball, brought to you by Walmart Digital. And your score, by the way, in this bottom of the 6th inning is 13-11. Lovington is trailing by 2 against Roswell. And we'll be back when we can with Lovington softball action on Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lovington Wildcats softball in Lovington. As after a storm delay of about an hour? Was this
We're about an hour and 10 minutes now.
About an hour and 10 because of lightning. It never did rain. It just sprinkled a little bit, but because of the lightning forced delays and the fact that the storm is still within range and still having lightning strikes within the range to keep delaying the game. The teams have agreed. Robert Areola, the Lovington Athletic Director, is here, and after talking with the coaches from Roswell and visiting, I think, with the Roswell Athletic Director by phone, they have come to an agreement to call the game for tonight and pick this first game up where it stands right now, which is in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 outs, and your score is 13-11. Roswell is leading, and we'll pick this one up exactly where we leave off tonight, finish this game, and then play what would have been the doubleheader behind this game tonight. So that is supposed to be on Wednesday, this next Wednesday afternoon, starting at 4 o'clock right here in Lovington, right here at Wildcat Field. So we'll be back to finish up this first game, as it's called because of weather tonight, finish up the first one and play a second game as a makeup against Roswell. So that's going to wrap things up tonight. And anything to add to that, TJ Miracle?
No, just a very exciting game, and, wished we could finish this one up tonight. But we'll be back on Wednesday around 4 o'clock to wrap up Game 1 and then bring you Game 2.
So that's it for tonight. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you to our sponsors. I'm Dawn Morgan on behalf of TJ Miracle. And that's it as we await the rest of this. This is not over. The rest of the story and the rest of this chapter will come next Wednesday afternoon here in Lovington. And that's it. We will say good night and thank you for watching and listening. And we'll have more Lovington Lady Wildcats softball coming up on Wednesday from Lovington on the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports. Good night, everybody.